All right. Now it says it's live.
Oh, yeah, there. No, I'm looking at something else.
Uh-oh.
I'm not coming up on my. Oh, it just changed. Yeah, it's starting to go live now.
Oh.
We're on the air.
Hey. We're up.
Greetings, boys and girls.
Hey. Hey, from you know, keep it spicy, people. I can hear myself in the background.
There, I killed my audio so it doesn't sound like it's reverberating back and forth. Hey, Yaya's here.
Uh-oh. Hey, yeah.
What's up, Yaya? Mongo, out. My cat is probably going to bother us the whole time that this is going on.
It's no big deal. I'm used to animals.
I remember last time we were on a live stream together, you were getting attacked by a ladybug.
Oh, yeah, that was that ladybug kept messing with me, man. Yeah, and I was just like, doing some things, and it just kept like jumping in the little thing of water I was going to feed the plants with, and I felt bad leaving it in there. I just didn't want it just to drown, so I pulled it out of there. And then I put it on the plant, and then next thing I know, I was going to take a drink of my water, and it was in my water. I was like, oh, I was like, I was like, man, come on. So, so
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah says
that was just
yeah says congrats to me. Thanks. You know, I've had like hundreds of people congratulate me. It's really nice to see how many
oh,
people have reached out to, be nice to me about that kind of stuff.
yeah. So how's it going so far? Well, I hope.
You know, it's a lot like dating, actually. There's not too much different. The difference is I have a ring on my finger. That's about
Yeah,
it, really.
yeah. You got to be a little more mindful. uh, yeah, I know there's a little differences in that, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, so far it's not too bad, but I mean, I've only been married for about a week, so we'll see how it really pans out.
Yeah,
Oh, and a tax break.
yeah, but I mean, give it about like 30 years and be like, I need a break from you. Go on vacation for about a couple of days. uh,
Yeah, exactly.
uh, no, but yeah, I don't know. Congratulations and all that. It's cool to see that people get married and all.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with it. Is that your newest batch of chocolates, sir?
Yeah. It's the dark chocolate ones. And
Ooh.
yeah. So how was the reception and all that for you?
Reception
Or
was
did you guys
okay.
have a
Like,
reception?
yeah, so my wife is Chinese. She's been in Canada for about
Yeah.
8 years now, or 9 years now. But
Uh,
so traditionally for the Chinese, you don't have like this big wedding reception. It's usually this giant dinner that you go to. So we booked a restaurant. We took the restaurant over, and we had like a 20-course meal. It was epic. I probably
uh,
gained about 15 pounds during that meal.
yeah, there's a lot of food being passed around at those receptions.
Oh yeah.
So,
And it was like really good authentic food too. So
uh,
everybody ate themselves stupid.
so what did they bring in you some of the Oriental foods and stuff?
Oh yeah. Well, I left the wife in charge of ordering all the foods and stuff so that she could get all
Uh,
the really good stuff. If you go to a Chinese restaurant and you have a Chinese wife, just let her order for you, man. She'll get you the good stuff.
all right, okay, yeah. So has she been able to get any of your friends or family to hook you up with some of the seeds from over there?
No, no. I've I've tried. There's actually really cool seeds that you can get in China because the Chinese government actually sent some seeds into orbit. And there's like different kinds of
Um,
peppers, and there were tomatoes and potatoes and stuff.
to see
And
how they would react to being out in space.
yeah, exactly. And the radiation affected them. And I remember one of the peppers actually ends up growing way larger than it used to. And
Okay.
I wanted to check one of those out, but unfortunately, it's really hard to get seeds across the border there, eh?
Oh
So
well, there's a number of what they call space chilies that I've been seeing or floating around the area. Well, not floating around out there. I mean down here.
look it up in space.
Yeah. Here, let me just grab some real quick. No, there's a handful of them I'm thinking about getting, thought about getting, but some of them look interesting. I mean, some of them look like they'd probably be about like this long, but then they'd have this crazy spiral look to them
Yeah, yeah,
and stuff like
that's what
that.
I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I remember. I think I found out from it from a video that Ted Barris did. He did a pod review on them.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's how I originally
Yeah,
found out about that.
there's a handful of different kinds of space chilies I've seen around. You might want to, if you can, go do a search on the internet, and you'll probably find some sources that got some of them.
Yeah, I might have to check that out. I might have to
Yeah,
check that out. I'd
they
love
call them
to go
space
space
chilies.
chili.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. And there's like different names for them. So, I mean,
Well, next year
I've
we
thought
have
about.
plans.
Hmm?
Sorry, next year we got plans to go to China. So
Ah,
I'm gonna see if I could maybe smuggle them across the border, but I don't know if I want to end up in a Chinese prison.
I don't know. You might have to hide them somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Just don't hide it in a glass tube.
Yeah. So the Barnyard Chicken
Yeah,
says
but
that my wedding was a lot like a Greek wedding. Apparently, they have a big supper at the
oh,
Greek weddings too.
okay. Hey, what's up, Ruby Slipper? The Bayard Chicken? Uh,
What's RA? What's RA?
what?
Rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh,
I just clicked in.
yes,
It
yes,
clicked in. Yeah.
yeah, yes. Rheumatoid arthritis isn't fun.
No, no.
Isn't fun at all. Yeah,
I
I've kind of I'm familiar with that.
yeah. Well, I used to be a tile setter,
Ah,
and so I spent, pardon the jokes that are about to come. But I used to spend a lot of time on my knees, installing tile. So as a result of that, even though I was wearing knee pads, my knees just got progressively worse and worse and worse and worse. I had already had patella femoral, and so it just kept compounding itself, and I actually had to quit my trade and go into something else.
oh yeah, yeah. That sucks. Yeah, I found out a few years back that I got kind of a combination of RA and psoriatic arthritis. I mean, I was like, one day I was working at a warehouse, and next thing I know, I was just in like so much pain. I thought I'd like, messed up like somehow fractured some bones in my feet or something. And went to them after I got off work. I was like, hey, I'm going to have to go to the hospital. I'll talk to y'all later. Something's up. And then when I went to the hospital, there's one doctor says he thinks it was RA or something like that. And then I went to a rheumatologist. He was like, yeah, well, it's a combination of two types of arthritis. I was like, come on. I was like, great.
Bad enough to have one, two sucks.
Yeah. So it's just like, oh man. Yeah, but
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can get my wife on film.
uh-oh. Don't get
Tonight,
yourself in trouble now.
it's not
Don't get a shoe thrown at you.
say hi to everybody on YouTube. We're on a live stream.
Hello.
Ah. All right, back to the dungeon I go.
Lucky she didn't throw a plate at you.
Yeah. Oh, that's just on Tuesdays.
Okay. Uh-oh. No, don't freeze up on me.
You frozen?
Nah, this thing's acting funky. Mom, work with me here, please.
Looks like Will G says hello. He had to hop out and he'll be back in a few.
Okay.
The Barnyard Chicken says, yes, it was an amazing dinner and it was fun. I bet it was. Mine was awesome. Yeah, coping alone. I hope you feel better soon, buddy. Hope you feel better soon. Hope you feel better soon.
Oh,
oh, I hurt myself.
Yeah, that was you. I was like, whoop. Yeah. Yeah. Couple alone. I know how you're feeling. I can relate to that. And the RA does suck. Hang in there, and you can get through it. But yeah. So here's one of my little smiley guys right here. Have a nice day.
Oh, I'm getting called. I'll be right back, okay?
All right. Oh, you're in trouble now.
Yeah.
Whew. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I just got my orders to go collect the lasagna from downstairs, so you guys are going on a trip with me.
Uh-oh. Gotta get some lasagna, huh? What, you guys order some takeout?
It's actually the takeout my mom gave me the day before my wedding. She made a huge lasagna, and we just froze it all up. So, yeah. Where is it? No. Aha, I got it. Thank you. So, you guys want to take a quick look at the Pepper Lab?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm willing to see that.
All right, cool. We'll head right down there. Ah. Oh, look at the light change. All right, so there she is.
Nice.
In all her glory. I put down some dirt there. I'm going to start some of my other seeds pretty soon here. So, oh.
What's up?
You guys want to see all my new sprouts?
It just went to your logo. Oh, yes. Okay. Nice. What all you got going there?
A bunch of different kinds of cayenne, lemon habaneros, white ghosts, some other stuff too. I can't really remember all of them off the top of my head. Super chilies, basket of fire, Yeah, that's about it.
Oh, you can't go wrong with cayennes. Cayennes are good peppers.
Oh, yeah. I got long cayenne and just regular cayenne.
Nice. Yeah, cayenne's good. I mean, it's good to fresh eating, cooking with, even making powders out of, even pepper flakes. That's a good versatile chili.
Well, the mother-in-law wanted me to grow Thai style peppers for her last year.
Ah,
And so I grew like a huge amount of basket of fire and packed them all
ah,
away. And she's used maybe a third of the bag. Like she didn't use them at all. So I have to figure out something to do with all those basket of fires that I have.
ah. Yeah, basket of fire. That's a nice one. There's this type of Thai pepper that I've been growing for the past few years. It's a tall plant, very productive. But the peppers get about like this long,
Oh
and they
wow.
hang down.
And they're still
And
thin like the other Thai
yeah,
peppers
they're
are.
probably about like that wide, probably.
Oh, okay.
I mean, just thin like a regular Thai pepper would be, but it's just probably gets like upwards of 8 inches longer, if not longer. So,
That's a
and
heck
it's
of a
like
big
and it's it's got that Thai pepper type of flavor and a nice Thai heat too. But that's one of those plants that gets real bushy, and and I'm saying I've had smaller varieties of Thai get bushy, but this one just gets real tall. Um, but
what variety is it?
uh, it's called the Big Thai Hybrid or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's a nice one sometime, but I don't know if I send you if you still want some of those candies and that sometime, I'll send a few of those seeds to you if you want to try them out.
Yeah, I'll try them out. I love Thai peppers. Love them.
Yeah,
I
well,
just got some Kang Star white ties, and
okay.
so I got a couple of those started up. I'm looking forward to getting some stuff off of that. I heard they taste really good.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've heard a few people talking about those ones. And then yeah, there's a good handful of varieties of Thai peppers that are nice.
Yeah,
Um,
I liked the basket of fire because it was really prolific, like super duper prolific. I've never had another pepper plant produce that many fruit. Like one plant
oh,
produced hundreds.
yeah, that's the thing is the Thai peppers produce a lot. That's what I like about them. But yeah, I've seen a lot of different kind of varieties of those though. Ones that stay small, compact, bushy, the ones that get bigger. The one, I mean, I like that one I've been growing because I just like the size of the pods, and if you would want to dry them out, you can basically kind of hang dry them and not really have to put them in a dehydrator too much.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I found I was able to dry out my super chilies just by hanging them underneath my lights.
Oh, okay, cool.
I was pretty
Yeah,
excited when I found that out because normally this isn't really the climate to dry peppers out in, eh?
yeah. Super chilies are good peppers too. So
Oh, Kyle Waller's here. He says he ate one with his supper. So good. I watched him eat that brown bootla. Did you see the brown bootla video?
no, I missed it.
Kyle, oh, you looked like you were suffering in that one, buddy.
What the SLP was it?
Yeah, I do believe it was SLP. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you had one, Brando?
Yeah, I did a video on one just not too long ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I unfortunately I'm not growing that variety, and it's too hard to get fresh pods most of the people I know that are growing pods are out in America, and by the time they get mailed out to me, they've gone bad, eh?
Yeah, that's an unfortunate side effect of the freaking customs.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you'll get them, and then like you get them like maybe a couple weeks later. Some soft little pods, mushy pods.
Mushy
Uh,
pods with green dots on them.
right? Oh man, yeah, that sucks, man. Um, do you guys ever get like any people that like any vendors that sell any kind of certain varieties out in Canada?
Not that I know of. I haven't, I like, admittedly, I haven't done too much research into it, but I haven't really found anything yet. It
Oh,
seems like most of the companies are out of either England or out of America.
yeah.
America.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because there's like some companies like in the UK that I heard that we could have some pods, but God knows how long that's going to be before they get to a person around here. And if they want to pay extra
Yeah.
for shipping, it's like ridiculous. So
Oh, shipping from Canada to America or vice versa is absolutely retarded. Like I
yeah,
will, if I want to buy a hot sauce from somebody, I have to pay like an additional $30 just to ship it. Free trade
yeah,
agreement, I don't know about that so much.
yeah. That's ridiculous how they can get away with that, man. It's like, man, it's like, yeah, there's fair trade, but there's a there's an excess to it. Like that's not so fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Charles says no, they just don't want Alex to have them. Yeah, I think you might be right.
yeah. There's a limit to the fair trade thing, man. It's like, man, really, that's like not so fair. That's just like them taking it, just like smacking you in the back with a paddle or something, man.
Whipping
Like,
you.
hey, uh,
Garcia, welcome to the live stream, buddy.
what's up, Garcia? Oh man.
I don't
Uh,
think I've seen the allotment tag from Garcia's though. I don't think I've seen the Garcia's allotment tag yet.
oh snap! I forgot. I didn't do that.
Oh yeah, that's right. I got
I
you.
forgot.
Uh yeah, I think everybody else did theirs. Just you and Garcia's Pepper Farm left.
I was going to
Oh,
talk
Pepper for
to
you.
talk to Rob, but I haven't talked to him much lately.
Well, a lot of people are saying that they're running out of people to tag. I've actually been following it from two tags before me, like the guy who tagged the guy who tagged me, and then I've been following along with all the tags and trying to subscribe to the newer channels and stuff like that. People that I hadn't come across yet, and but they're all starting to say we're running out of people to tag because a lot of people are getting
Yeah,
tagged twice and stuff.
yeah. That's the thing is, I was like, what I was like thinking about, I was like, shoot, how's this going to work out, man? I mean, I get the idea of the questions and all, but when you start trying to tag someone, try to tag five people, it's just like so then it's going to get down the line where everybody's just like, man, who next? But yeah.
Charles P. Which Rob? There's a couple of them.
Oh, I'm in Rob Blumberg.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Kyle. Kyle threw up, but he was fine.
Oh, he did, huh?
Oh yeah,
And
no, that one looked like it hit him pretty hard. I've never had a bootla before. I've never had a bootla before. I've got some chocolate bootlas growing. They haven't produced any pods yet because they're still too small, but I'm pretty terrified of trying one of those things. I've heard a
well,
lot of
that also
stories.
depends. There's different versions and varieties, and the SLP didn't come from the same people that did the other Bula, but yeah, there's a difference in the flavor, definitely. I mean, I'm growing some Bulas that have had different color varieties too that popped up from ones I've grown, and it's just different with a lot of the shapes that come out as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Scott, how's it going, buddy? How's the jam business? Charles says that the chocolate bootla is the DM is far worse. Says it's the worst one.
Yeah, some of the Bulas I've grown, like one of the first ones I tried a couple of seasons ago. The first one I tried, it felt like a chemical burn. You know, it was like didn't even feel like a normal pepper burn. It felt like almost like a chemical burn to it. But
Yeah. Yeah, well,
but
I feel a lot better about eventually having to eat one now.
yeah, but I mean, when I first initially tried, because I didn't know what to expect, and I was like, man, that really does feel like a chemical burn. But then it just after I waited a minute, you know, it was just like I was like, oh, okay. Then the flavor kind of kicked in, and you know, I think it was partly to do with the size of the pod I grew, because the pod was pretty big, so it's like there was a lot of pod just kind of rolling around in there in the mouth and throat area, and it took me like several minutes to chew it through. So and it was just a very hefty pod.
See, that's something I
And
wondered is like the chocolate bootla is really big. It's a really big pod. And so I was wondering if that's why people think that it's so hot is because they're eating so much of a hot thing.
well, yeah, that's the thing is that's what also gets it so much is about the heat level of it is because of there's so much more of the peppers, so there's gonna be so much more of the capsaicin oils and everything else to bring in more of the heat. And I'll be honest, I've had some of those Buddhas be definitely be hotter than Reapers. So and then but I've also had brown Morugas, chocolate Morugas, and even some other types of scorpions be hotter than reapers as well. But it just really depends because there's certain varieties that haven't really been officially tested, but that can come out hotter than reapers as well. So, but
Well, I don't think the
reapers
chocolate
are hot.
bootla has been tested.
What's that?
So I'm pretty sure that the chocolate bootla is one of the ones that hasn't been tested yet. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I think it hasn't been tested.
Yeah, I think it is on par with the heat level of a reaper, if not stronger, because there's reapers I've had. I'll admit they've been really, really hot. But then there's been some bootlegs that I've had that have been equal to that, or if not, and more. So it just really can go either way with it. But
Oh, Anthony Tran's here. Anthony Tran's in there. Hey, buddy.
hey, what's up, Anthony?
And Coping Alone's going to go back to bed now. He says,
Uh,
take care, everyone. Blessings to all.
all right, coping along. Blessings to you too, and have a good one. Sleep well. You know, positive things. Positive things. And yeah, but there's a handful of there's one that I had last year, and I'm not sure if I uploaded a video of. that was like one of the hottest peppers I've had so far. And it was
You
actually
got to
a
put that
cross.
video up.
What's that?
You got to put that video up, man.
Yeah, and this a mean pepper. I mean, it was just like it was probably from here down to here. It took up on that long, and it was just like it was just gnarly. I mean, and yeah, it was just like, and a while later, I was just like, I could still kind of feel it tinkering around inside. You know, after a while later, I was just like. It was just like it felt like even after the video, the heat was still trying to climb a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was just like because I was surprised by it because it felt like the heat started dying down when I was doing the video, coming to the end of the video. Then a while later, it felt like it got another second phase coming in. It was just like, oh snap!
It came in
But
waves.
yeah, it was just like it was nice, but the plant. It wasn't really super large, but it was nice and bushy and very productive. I mean, that's what I liked about it. And I'm trying to see how it's going to come out this year. I know it's very in the early stages. Um,
Well, I tell you, I'm definitely afraid of the pepper that gave you a bad day. Because if it gave you a bad day, then I'm definitely gonna have a bad day from it.
I wasn't dying or anything like that, but I could still feel it moving around, and it was just like wow, okay. It was just like saying, "Hey, I'm still here." I mean, I was like, all right. I mean, because I don't know. I mean, I wasn't like, balled up on the floor or anything, but I was just like, all right, yeah, it just let me know it was there. But it was like one of the ones that was just like I could put it on like the one of the hotter on the list. But let's see if I can find it. I think I got some pictures of it. Oh, come on, work with me.
Yeah, Anthony Tran says chocolate boot DM. No joke, it hurt me.
Yeah, those are something else. But from Mulas I've seen, there was just different kinds of levels to them. I mean, depending on also, there's different variants of it that's come out, different color variations, different phenotypes. I've seen some phenotypes that look almost similar to scorpion shapes. Yeah, I've just seen them just look like just get like smaller and more round and just bigger. It just depends. Let's see.
So I had a good day.
What's that?
Oh, what all am I growing this year? Okay, so I have Dorset Nagas, red MOAs, white ghosts, Scotch brains. I've got a couple different types of mystery peppers. A friend of mine actually mailed me a bag of random peppers, so I have no idea what they'll be. Kind of make it a fun game to kind of figure out what they are, right?
Right.
I've got I'm gonna have a bunch of cayennes growing this year. I'm actually gonna run my front walkway is gonna be full of cayennes. I've got basket of fires, white ties, got some habaneros, some Lebanon habs. I've got yellow boots, mustard boots. What other kind of boots did I have? Just I can't remember. But of course, my super chili, and that's about it. That's the varieties I'm doing. I'm trying out a lot of varieties because I'm still trying to figure out which ones I want to grow the most and which ones grow well in my climate, right? So,
yeah. Well, just keep in mind after growing them for a number of years, they start acclimating to the area you're at.
Oh
So
yeah.
like, yeah, so like say for example, a ghost pepper. Like say if you're growing a red ghost pepper, and you grow that for like several years, you just you keep saving seeds from every generation you're going at with it, then it starts getting more acclimated to the environment you're growing in.
That makes sense. It's evolving, right?
Yeah, it kind of adapts a bit. So then it becomes a little bit easier for it to get where you want it to be, or at least it should anyway.
Okay, well that'll be good because actually last year I had zero luck with any of my super hots. The only things that like the hottest thing I was able to grow was wax peppers.
Ah,
So Hungarian waxes, which is not, exactly hot. So
well, the Hungarian wax still isn't a bad pepper though. I mean, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like the little heat level they can have to it, but I don't know. I think there could be an improvement in flavor wise with that one.
yeah, for sure.
But hmm.
So I actually, because I had pests, my sister offered a spot in her pepper laboratory to start
Ah,
germinating stuff. And so those little seedlings that I showed you guys earlier, that's where they're from. I just brought them back home today. Want to make sure they had a good start.
okay.
And Kyle Waller put in some Numex lemon spice jalapenos today.
Hmm.
I've never
Those
had
would
that
be,
before, but it sounds delicious.
yeah, sounds interesting. Yeah, he has to
What about
keep
you,
us
Brando?
posted
What are
with
you going to
those.
be putting in?
What's that?
What are you putting in the dirt this year? What are you
Ooh,
putting in the dirt
yeah.
this year?
Yeah, that's kind of hard for me to go on the list from there because I've kind of given up on making lists because it just be like it just is like it keeps going and going and going. It's just like, uh I mean, but I don't know. It can go anything from down to bells to jalapenos, serranos to Tabasco. Sometimes I haven't been doing Tabasco every year, but I don't mind Tabascos. Um, and then it goes to habaneros on up to ghost peppers, scorpions, and all the up and down the heat scales. Reapers are a little different because it's just the way they go. They're a little finicky, but when you can get them going, they can produce rather well sometimes. Um, just various different kinds, some Douglas or some seven pots in there. I just got some random crossbreeds and stuff, and then just it's hard for me to list exactly what all I got. So I mean, because I just got different things, even Scotch bonnets. I like the chocolate Scotch bonnets because they got nice flavor, nice heat level, and they can produce really well. I have
Are you
had
growing
some
any
decent
contest
good luck
plants
with
this
them.
year?
Huh?
Are you going to grow any contest plants this year?
Well, I don't know if I heard you right. What was that?
I said, are you growing any contest plants this year? Like the PLC contest?
Uh, I'm sure I got some plants that could be in contests, but I'm not exactly jumping in on the contest. I mean, I don't got anything against the contest. It's just I don't really haven't really participated in the contest too much.
No. I decided to go to attempt every contest this year, and I've already managed to kill the bonsai that I was growing. Um,
Uh-oh.
the, and I took too long to transplant my Dorset Naga, so it's lost most of its leaves. It's got to get transplanted real soon, or else it's going to die, I think.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Nagas are good peppers. I like nagas. There's various kinds of them, but I like the I like some of the flavors and the heat on them. They do not disappoint on the heat at all. No, they don't.
Well, I remember seeing a video. I think Charles P had shown me a video
Oh yeah.
where people had grown it in kind of like a contest scenario where they had like a year to do it, and the dang plant produced like it was like 1,000 peppers or something like that. It was just like outlandish how
Oh
much it
yeah.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, they do produce a lot.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, I get around to transplanting that thing and it doesn't die on me and I can have lots of peppers this year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that they're good for is really producing. I mean, heavily.
Uh, Charles says he's gonna quit peppers and go to tomatoes.
Right. Funny. uh,
And Kyle Waller put in some yellow boy tomatoes today. I've got a couple
okay.
of quarter century tomatoes growing right now. They're supposed to be a dwarf tomato, but they're kind of growing taller than I was expecting.
Oh, hey, check this one out.
Oh, that's a beaut. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like it'll lay a hurting on someone.
Yeah, it's a pretty mean one, man. I mean, the plant produces really well, and they got some mean pods on them. Yeah, I got one that shows me holding them. Ah, come on. Hey, there he goes. Dang
Dang
technology.
technology. Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
Wow. And
So
really bumpy too.
yeah, yeah, those things are just mean. I
It
mean,
looks
before they
mean.
even start changing, before you could they start changing color, they just look like get pretty rough.
Oh,
Here's a
I forgot to mention. Yeah, that's gnarly, man.
what? What were you saying?
I was just saying I forgot to mention that I was also growing some yellow reapers. I just remembered that.
Ah,
And St. Thomas Spain. I have some St. Thomas Spain on the go.
okay.
What do you think of those yellow reapers? I've
Yeah,
never had one before.
they're pretty interesting. They're not bad at all. I think they could be almost they could probably be almost better than regular reapers, depending on what kind of flavors you're looking for.
How about heat level? Is it as hot as a regular reaper?
I say the heat level is up there, but it's different. I wouldn't say it's the same as the red. The burn's different, but now I don't mind the yellow reaper one, but it's just different. Um, I don't know. It's just not the same heat level though. It's not bad. Um, chocolate reapers are pretty hot, but the I've always noticed that the yellows, the reds, and the browns and the chocolates all have their own types of flavors and it burns to them. I mean, they're just all different in their own way. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know, I'll still give them a try, but um,
Yeah, it looks like chat's agreeing with you. Everybody says it's not quite as high as the Carolina Reaper. Kyle Waller's growing yellow, red, and chocolate reapers.
yeah, that's the best way to do it. Is if you want to see what they're all like, you can just get all the different color variations going. Oh,
Yeah.
that reminds me. That reminds me. I was on eBay the other day. This was funny.
Oh,
Um, I was just goofing around. I was just like typing in. I was like, Purple pepper. Just type that in, and it just showed like a whole list. Then on this one thing, it caught my eye. It said purple Carolina Reaper.
Purple
So I clicked
Reapers.
on it. So I clicked on it, and the picture just showed some pictures of some ornamental peppers. And it just said, "No, it's purple Carolina Reaper." I was like, "No." I'm like, "That's not a Reaper."
Yeah, no, I
was
learned
like,
from
"No."
being on PLC. Everybody, you see it every once in a while. A guy will make a comment about, here's my eBay Reaper, and it'll look like a bird's eye chili or something like that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but you just gotta kind of learn to pay attention to certain little details in some of those things those people post, and don't be afraid to contact those sellers and start asking them certain questions. Because if they start answering in certain ways, then that's a little telltale sign.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, it's kind of funny, but I mean, but let's see.
JDS in the house.
What's up, JDS?
Garcia's Pepper Farm
Yeah.
says I'm growing all of the Reapers, red, chocolate, yellow, and peach Reaper. I've never heard of peach Reaper before.
Oh, I've heard of peach type. I just haven't seen it. There's been more hearsay about it rather than me actually seeing much about them.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, it'll be interesting to see what Garcia's Pepper Farm posts about it.
yeah, it'd be nice to see an
We
actual
want
peach reaper in person.
a Garcia's Pepper Farm. We want to see a review, man. We want to see a review.
Yeah.
And Charles P says it's a California Reaper. He's growing 2 of them. Garcia's Pepper Farm says he's going to mail us some.
Mail who some?
You and I.
Hey, I'll take some. Wait, you talk about seeds or the pods?
Don't send me pods. They'll be rotten by the time they get to Canada, man. That's what I see in California Reaper. And doesn't Susan have one? I'm not too sure if she has one or not.
Yeah, there's a. Ooh. Yeah, that'd be interesting to see a peach reaper.
Says he can send pods or powder.
Well, hey, I mean, if he could send me a pod, then that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd love to see you do a review, man. Peach Reaper. What's it most commonly known as? Peach Reaper or California Reaper?
Oh, hey, man, I got another picture of a different pod on that plant that I was showing you the big pod of. Here's one that was green. But
Oh, it looks pretty gnarly. That's really
yeah,
bumpy.
yeah. I mean,
Did you grow those?
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Is
this
it the
one I'm
stable
just kind
variety?
of, it's not stable right now. Last season was like the first generation.
Oh, okay, so it's FT right now or something like that?
Yeah, the seeds are F2s, but yeah, I wasn't expecting the heat level on that one. But just one of those ones that's just coming out wild.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see, since I've never been able to successfully grow any super hots, if I could get pods out of them this year. I'm I'm interested to see which ones are going to be the hottest.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I didn't grow
Let's
the
see.
traditional Reaper, like the obviously hottest one, right? So
Well, yeah, the Reapers ones can produce like certain types of capsaicin, which makes it come out like the way it does. But Reaper is a hybrid as far as even even you know people from that company will tell you that who created it. You even say it's a hybrid, but I don't know. I've heard different claims of what types were used. So, um, but
I'm pretty sure there's
as
a
I
lot of
said,
controversy surrounding that one.
yeah, there's been, but yeah, let's see, um, well, if you're growing some 7 pots, those ones get pretty hot. Um, they got 7 pots have their own particular aftertaste and burn to them. Like it could be even the reds, orange, yellows, the browns or chocolates of the 7 pots, but they all have their own particular kind of burn and a certain flavor that's underlying in there, and each color variant that's just typical of them. It's just weird, but it's just some that's one of their identifying traits that's in them.
That's cool.
But and are you growing any 7 pots?
No, I don't have any 7 pots. The Yeah, it's pretty much the list that I rattled off there. I got some bleeding Borgnine seeds from Charles Polk a long time ago, last year, the beginning of last season, and I really, really wanted them to grow, but I haven't been able to successfully germinate them. I think they might be one of the trickier ones to germinate.
Yeah, there's some of them, certain varieties that just seem to be very particular about the way they germinate. But uh, I don't know. I think I ran across some 7 pot brain strain seeds that I've had. Uh, one of these times, if whenever I can get around to sending you something or whatever, then I'll probably, if I find them, I'll probably throw them in there for you.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So.
Well, that'll be when I make your chocolates for my cooking.
And just be careful.
Uh,
Don't leave them around. Don't leave them around for some unsuspecting passerby.
some unsuspecting wife to just eat. Pretty sure I'd be in the doghouse for that one.
Oh man,
So,
yeah. I'm sure
as me
you.
says, gotta run. You guys all take care. Alberta, congrats, man. And Brando, always a pleasure, sir.
All right, yeah. Thank you for joining the stream. Appreciate it.
Charles P says he has 14 different varieties of 7-pot. That's a lot.
Yeah,
He
there's
says the hottest one
lots of
was,
7 pots.
he said the hottest one was the 7-pot caramel brain strain.
Yeah. Yeah, the brain strains are pretty mean. Uh, the the red and chocolate, I think for me was are pretty mean ones. But I still think in regards to the 7 pots, the burn lasts a pretty long time. Um, I think the 7 pot Douglas, the brown ones or the brown chocolate ones, those ones, yeah, those ones stick around pretty mean with the heat. Um, I wouldn't say that one's the best in particular in flavor, but they're pretty mean with the burn. But
Anthony Tran says he sprinkled a whole bunch of bleeding Borgnine seeds on the ground last summer for fun, and they all germinated.
I've done that before too. I've done that. Well, not not that particular strain, but I've done that as a goof. Just take a number of seeds and then just put a little spot and just kind of throw a little bit of dirt on it and kept the dirt there moist for a little while. Next thing I know, I'd have a handful of them sprouting up right there. And it actually worked pretty well. I mean, if you got a season that can last long enough for them to produce something, it actually plants respond differently being started directly in the dirt versus starting them in a little thing and then put them in the dirt. I'm not saying you can't get good results either way, but from some of the plants that just start right off the bat in the ground, they just go from little seedlings to big plants in no time, and you just they're super productive.
Well, that's because of transplant shock, right?
It could possibly be that, yes. I mean, it just and plus I think it also depends on how it's started. When it started directly in dirt, they just take it to it so well they just jump right off bat. They just hit the ground running, so to speak. I mean, but yeah, it's just interesting to see them respond like that. And
Well, I'm going to be building a bunch of flower beds this spring, and so I'm going to start a lot of my well, I won't be starting my peppers out there, but I'll be starting other things out there. It's a little late to start them at the springtime, but yeah, so I'm going to have like a lot more growing area. It's going to be nice.
oh, nice. You gonna be growing some flowers, huh?
Oh, lots of vegetables and stuff, and probably some flowers for the wife.
Uh, yeah. I mean, I grow some flowers myself, but most of them are a lot of different types of marigolds, but there's a handful of different other kinds too.
I like
But
marigold. I was
yeah,
growing those last year. I got this old style light post in my front yard that stands about, I don't know, about 6 feet tall. And it looks like it's out of the 1800s. It's pretty
uh,
cool. And I had marigolds around the bottom, and then I grew vines all the way up it. It looked awesome by the end of the season. It
nice,
looked
nice,
awesome. Oh, Bernie
nice.
Phantom's here.
Hi, what's up, Bernie?
And Kyle says he's probably the most excited about his chocolate brain strain.
Oh yeah, chocolate brain strains.
Garcia's Pepper Farm
Yeah,
says it's going to be a great season for us. I have a great feeling. Scott Tippett says, "What's up, Bernie?" And Garcia's Pepper Farm says, "Who's growing Kush flowers, lol?" I think those are the ones that you can make
Kush
the
flowers.
left-handed cigarettes out of, right?
Kush flowers. Is it the California variety?
Actually, it's going to be legal all across Canada come July.
Oh snap!
Yeah, I
Hey,
think
there you guys
the
go.
rule. I'm not too sure about the rules, but I think you're allowed to have 4 plants in your house or something like that. I forget whether it was 4 or 10, but yeah, you can have
Yeah,
like 4 plants and stuff like that.
yeah, but I think a lot of places are being more accepting of that now. There's been there's a handful of states here around here that's becoming more accepting of that because they're realizing there's big business in that too.
Oh, there's money
And
to be made. There's commerce there.
yeah, yeah, and there's a big tax revenue that the state gets kicked back from. So, I mean, my brother lives in Colorado. He's not big on doing that, but um, he said within the first year there was hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars just in the tax revenue kicked back to the state.
Wow.
Just within the first year, and it was just like wow. I mean, I know there's a number of states that could use that kind of money. So, but I mean,
We got
that's from what my brother said. But I don't know. I don't know. So,
well,
but
we got provinces down here that could definitely use a leg up, that's for sure.
yeah, But I mean, that's just one of those things. I mean, different day, day and age, I remember like good 20, 30 years ago, you mentioned something like that, people look at you and be like, it's like, but now it's just different. Uh, but yeah.
So, hey, Brando, what's your next video going to be?
Um, I'm not sure exactly. I mean, are you talking about like pod wise or something like that?
Just in general.
I'm not sure exactly. I mean, as I mentioned before we started the stream, there's a few videos that I hadn't uploaded just yet that were actually of ones that I did a while ago, but I just haven't been sure whether or not I should upload them or not. And yeah, some of at least one of them's one or two of them's at least a couple I think are crosses of mine. So,
Oh, okay.
you all right over there, man?
So, what types of crosses do you have going on?
Some of them were more in the mild medium range. Some of them are more uh, some of them more in the ultra hot range, and it just kind of goes up and down. Um, as I was showing before, even on the stream last night, there was the one I got in the Arrow Garden. That one's pretty nice. Uh, in the ground, the plants can get like a few feet wide, and then maybe like roughly 3.5 feet tall. So
Nice.
and then just super productive. And it's got some heat to it, but it's not the highest heat.
Yeah, so you got a good variety, is what you're saying.
Yeah, some of them are still rather new. I'm still working on them, and like that one seedling I showed you before that I said the plant's got like 6 feet tall or something. Um, that one was producing some rather hot pods that are probably about like this big around, probably.
Oh, really?
So
Wow.
yeah, some of them got that big around and rather nice. It is a yellow color, and yeah, that one was pretty good. I'm looking forward to how that one produces. That one produces pretty well.
Yeah, I've had zero luck ever being able to cross anything. I've never been able to do it.
Oh, it's actually not too bad. Well, it's tricky. That's one of those things that takes multiple tries on each time you try to do it, because it can go either way. That's why some people say when you're doing a cross, try doing it with multiple flowers on the plants just to be sure, because some will take, some won't. Sometimes there could be a little mishap during it, like the little part you're trying to pollinate just falls off,
Yeah.
or just anything could happen. So, I mean, when I did my pollinating of the crosses, I did them outside, and which that can be tricky in itself because if you got a lot of plants around while you're doing it, pollen for another plant can catch the wind right and just kind of get
Get
that
in
one
there.
going for you from a different, get you an unintended one going. So, but it really depends.
Well, I'll see. Maybe I'll get lucky to have an unintentional hybrid.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's what the thing is. You can go in your little pepper lab and you can have it more of a controlled environment kind of thing. So, what I could suggest is that if you're trying to save pollen from a plant, you can take like a little cap or a little something like this and go up to the flower and thump the flower a little bit, one of the flowers that's open, and you'll see some of that dust drop in there. And once you do that with a few flowers, you can get so much of that, pollen and then go up to the other plant you're trying to do that with, and then open it up, and then you could do like a Q-tip, scoop some of that up, or you can even take your finger and wipe it in there, and then just place it on where you need to go, and just it's a waiting game from there pretty much.
So do you wait till your flowers open, or do you wait till they're they're just about to spread open?
Well, an easy way to judge it is when you just get, and this is varies from plant to plant and strain to strain. When you can learn when that particular plant you're going to go to apply the pollen to, just once you selected the flower or flowers you're going to do, wait till they're just about to open, just barely cracking open, just barely like a sliver. And then just go up to them and start peeling away the petals, peel away the little things around the pistil or whatever, and then get because those got the pollen on them that get to pollinate that part. And you just basically get rid of those so they won't actually pollinate the part you're trying to. And then once you do that, you can apply the pollen directly onto there. And then within a certain amount of time, you'll see something coming through, or at least you should. And it's worked with me. Some people will say that right off bat, you won't notice any difference in the pod or pepper. But you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry.
I didn't know if you were still there or not. But yeah, as I was saying, some people will say right off the bat you might not see a change or a difference on the plant itself that you're expecting to do the cross on initially. But there has been times where you'll see the effects of the cross right away. I mean, not straight off like after a generation or two, but you can tell it's been crossed. Like with the plant that I showed you in the little AeroGarden, that colorful one, it didn't they weren't looking like that when I initially did the initial cross, but after I did the initial cross, the first pod that came out there was probably like this big, but shouldn't have been that shape or that size from the plants, either of the parent plants. And when it did that, I could tell something was different. So I just let it ripen, and then when I pulled that pod off there, this is common for it to happen. It only had 2 seeds in the pod. So there are sometimes when you do the cross that it might not have any seeds in it. So that's the thing. That's why some of them say do multiples, multiple flowers, just to be on the safe side. Yeah. And when I did, and I was lucky enough, I just did the one flower, just experiment around, and it just actually, when I was with the next season to come around, I actually started germinating those 2 seeds, and both of them popped up. So, and I got both plants to go. Both of them turned into full plants that are producing. And so, yeah, it was actually, within that case, it actually worked pretty well. So
yeah, I was sent some seeds that were supposed to be red MOA or yellow MOA. But when it's finally started producing pods, it was these tiny, tiny little pods, and they were bleeders. So like the whole stem would turn red.
Oh,
like
nice.
it was a beautiful, beautiful hybrid, but and there was hundreds of little peppers on there, but not a single one of them had seeds. So I couldn't save the variety, or I couldn't continue it on. It's just,
oh man.
Yeah,
That's
no, I was a little frustrated when I saw that there was no seeds for me to save on it, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's unfortunate too. But yeah, but after growing for a while, it's bound to happen if you're growing enough plants and over time that you'll get a natural cross from
Yeah.
plants after messing around. It's bound to happen. I mean, you can ask any grower. It's bound to happen. Um, Even though like you could be growing for a number of years and it won't happen, and then next thing you know, next season comes around, then you got something different. So I mean,
You're
it
like,
could
wait a
be,
minute, this isn't a habanero.
yeah. But there's also times where it's there's natural mutations too. I mean, some people say it's like, hey, get away from me, net. Um, Now see, there's a good handful of people who say, oh, that's like one in a million chance. Well, you know, yeah, that may be a small chance, but it happens. So I mean, it's going to happen one at some point. It's just something different.
Yeah.
Like, for example, jalapenos. I've been growing jalapenos pretty much every season too. And there's different versions of jalapenos, but I've had different shapes and sizes and all that of jalapenos come out as well. So, and sometimes some year they'll come out a lot bigger. Sometimes another year it won't be so big. It just depends on on them. And yeah. And then bell peppers, pretty nice. I like some bell peppers, but there's some bell peppers that are like, eh. Because I've had some bell peppers just be like not so flavorful, but some of them just be really good.
Yeah.
So,
Well, guys, I got to get going. It's going to be an early morning for me tomorrow.
okay, yeah. All right. Well, I hope you have a good one. Nice chatting with you.
Hope you guys are having a great day. Bye-bye.
All right. Have a good one. All right, guys. So, how's everybody doing? Hmm. Uh-oh. You think it's just you in here? Uh-oh. Alrighty. Let's see. Hmm. All right. Uh, you got kind of quiet. Some people will hit me up with the thumbs up right real quick. All right. All right. Who all's on here? Hit me with some emoticons or something saying thumbs up. All right. Hey, Rob, I sent you an invite. Here, hold up. All right, hey Rob, let me know if you got that. All righty then. Hmm. All right, guys, hold on a second. All right, guys.
What's up?
What's up? Look who decided to show up.
This other phone is just like stuck on now on the call because I had two phones on. I don't know what to do about
Oh,
that.
big baller, huh?
It's just gonna have to sit there and buzz. I'm gonna cover it up.
Oh,
It
man.
froze on like an incoming call, and I can't get rid of it now. There it goes. Finally, it just went quiet. Well, how's it going?
How's it going? Me and you missed it. Me and Alex were talking for a while. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't hop in. I had a lot going on today, and
No,
I
man, it's all
chose
right.
to, instead of
It's all right, man.
doing
It's no big
things that I
deal.
should have done around the house, I went fishing because uh, it's supposed to storm really hard tomorrow, and that's going to probably potentially mess up the river again, which for who knows, maybe 2 or more weeks, it's going to be messed up again. And there was just a narrow window of time where it was a decent enough water level and warm enough temps outside to be able to
It's
get
no
out
problem,
and
man. I mean,
try.
you, know,
And I hadn't
you
really
got stuff
gotten
to
much
do. I
opportunity
understand.
to do any fishing lately, so I put off everything I needed to do today and went with a yeah. I came back and had all kinds of stuff I should have done earlier today, but didn't because I went fishing instead. But that was my choice. It was a good choice too. I had a good day. It was a beautiful day out.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I mean, I'm glad you got stuff done that you need to get done. That's
What's
what I was.
going on over there?
Just we were just talking about peppers and stuff, and, a few things, just pepper related and plants and different kinds of strains and crosses and stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, just a few things here and there.
That's cool. Yeah, I got some more stuff popping up. Seeds from Charleston. I'm looking forward to those this year. Those are such
Yeah,
cool looking little plants. I'm gonna probably just do them in planters on my porch.
yeah. It seems like a lot of some of these little plants are starting to take off a little bit. And I still got more to plant, but running out of room here.
I've pretty much run out of space for what I've got right now until I can get some stuff outside, and
And
that'll allow me
I need
more
to
space
transplant
to
this guy.
start some more stuff. What's that?
This is one of my crosses. It's got a little big for this thing here.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's a
but
nice looking healthy plant.
yeah, it's getting a bit big for this little container. So I mean, roots are starting to pop off the bottom. But yeah, um, that one's not going to be an ultra high one, but it'll be still mild medium, uh, good flavor. Not one that's going to be in the high heat range, but it'll be a good one.
That's cool.
Uh,
Do you start any of those yellow jackets?
oh no, I haven't planted those. That's what I was saying. There's still a lot of plants I still need to put down, and I just haven't.
That's up to you
And
if you wanted to give that one a go, but it's a pretty nice pepper.
yeah, I'll plant that one. It's just, I mean, I still got a lot of other ones I need to plant too. Um, there are still a couple of crosses that I want to put down in as well. Um, uh, I just need to come up with like some extra loot somehow to get some more lighting. So need to figure out
Yeah,
that end. Um, and one of the lights I'm using, this guy's asking for it because he's kind of wanting it back now. So not helping me much.
yeah.
Right. Um. So how's your plants doing?
They're doing pretty good. Some of them are struggling because they need to be upped from the seed trays that I've got them in, and I need to start putting stuff in cups, but I've done about as much as I can for right now. And the weather's supposed to really change and stay good here in the next few days. I think up until Thursday, we've got like cooler evenings, but after that, it's going to be like in the 50s or something for lows, which is not bad. And
they'll make for
67.
good. They'll make for good sleeping weather.
Yeah. So I'm gonna probably start moving stuff out. I'm not gonna plant things just so that I can be safe, and if I need to bring them in, I can. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna start keeping stuff outside, so that'll alleviate my area that I've got and give me a lot more space to work with. And then I can start more stuff because I've got a lot more stuff I wanted to start as well. And I've got, since I'm going to be growing in some other gardens that people have let me have space in, I've got more space than I really need. So if I can grow them, I might as well. I might start another whole big round of seeds here before long.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, man.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to do over 100 this year, but I might do as many as 200. I'll just have to see.
Yeah. It just always seems like, more plants the better when it comes to growing in that. But I don't know.
That just means more work because then there's more peppers, and I only have so much space to be able to dry them.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
Which is what I'm gonna have to do inevitably with a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I like to have all different kinds of stuff going on, but it's hard to keep up with certain things because once the season comes to an end, it just seems like you just got to deal with everything all at once, And I just wouldn't mind it if it was just like, just let me deal with a few plants at a time, get those out of the way, move on to the next ones before the season ends, But it doesn't work like that. It just is like, these seasons coming to an end. Deal with it all now. It's like,
oh yeah, especially those frost warning scramble harvests.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
Yeah. Yeah, then there's sometimes
frost is coming. Got to go do something about that, and then you end up with.
Yeah, if you got buds and planters, move them aside, or if you can cover them up, something.
What did you say?
I said if you got plants and planters, move them inside, or if you got something to cover them. Yeah, but.
I'm gonna end up with so many peppers this year that I'm not gonna really care so much when the frost finally does hit.
Yeah, I've learned.
I'll definitely pull any pods that look like they might ripen, and I'll just kind of let the rest go.
Yeah, I've learned that over the first couple seasons. I mean, it really bothered me when I knew the season was coming to an end. I would get really mad. I'll be like, oh, I'll be like wanting to try to find Mother Nature and punch Mother Nature in the face, but but yeah, it was just like I would really get mad about it. But then after so many seasons of doing it, it's just like it is what it is. There's not too much I can control on that, especially where I live.
It's always so sad though, just like watching your plants go from like that late summer, just lush green, looking awesome, to even before the first frost when they just start dropping leaves and thinning out, and just you can tell it's on its way out. I hate that. That's like my least favorite part.
Because you take all that time and effort to get them a certain way, and then next thing you know, Well, just not too long after that, boom. It's like, oh,
Yeah. They like hit their peak and then they just start to like slope back downward. And
yeah.
then by the
That's one
time the
thing is,
first frost hits here,
I wouldn't mind it, if I lived in an area where it just stayed warm all year round. So I could just have the plants go for a few years maybe before I have to do something with them. Because that way I could get at least a few rounds out of them before having to start anew. But I mean, that's the downside about living where I live because we got winters.
yeah. We got winters too, and it gets cold, but not like where you're at. And I mean, usually, I mean, we're good until at least October sometime, but sometimes it can be even up to as late as November. Like, I've even seen it mid to late November, our first frost before. So,
Yeah, sometimes it's got like that over here too. There's been some seasons where it actually, didn't get that cold until like around that time, like you just mentioned. But it's not
mhm.
always like that around here. I mean, sometimes it could be like right at the end of October or, depending, or early October or something. It's just like, and it's disappointing to me because it's just like, man, I put in all that time and effort for this plant just to have that happen. But yeah,
Yeah, this year I think though by the time I get to that point, I'm gonna be like, see ya, and just let them go because I'm gonna have so many peppers, I'm not even gonna know what to do with them all.
yeah. If I
I
could get
mean,
a
I
good,
need to,
really,
huh?
if I could get a real good amount of peppers in that before the frost hits, then then I'll be like, fine, so be it. You know, but if not, then it's just like, come on, I just need enough time to get so many peppers, then I'll be good.
Yeah,
But
I'm
but
not
then
sure
it's
what
just
I'm gonna
like,
do about like being able to dry them all fast enough because I'm gonna have stuff start wanting to turn on me before I can even get dehydrator cycles done. I'm gonna have to just be running a dehydrator all summer, just about.
yeah, I've
One of
learned
my
that.
ideas, and I
Oh,
don't know if this is a great idea or not, but I think that I'm going to take at least some as a test, and I'm just going to cut them in half and put them outside, maybe
you
on
like
like
sun dry
baking
them?
sheets or something.
You like
At
sun dry
least
them?
partially. Yeah, partially. And then I can always go back and I can dehydrate them all the way to get them nice and crispy to do powder with. But just to preserve them, keep them from rotting, I think if I cut
Well,
them in half and
what I
kind of
can
sun
probably
dry them.
suggest is for if you're going to try sun drying them, get like a mesh screen with very very fine little holes. It's like a mesh,
Uh
and
huh.
if you could do that, then it could give them room to breathe some air under them. So if you're laying them down to get sun dried, then that would give it room to kind of breathe on both sides. So if you can get some good heat under it or heat the sun on them, then I'll have them dry faster and with a little bit of airflow. But
Yeah.
because
We,
some people do air dry them, but I know there's some strains that you can pretty much almost hang dry them. Like sometimes with some cayennes,
yeah.
some Thai peppers, and a few other strains, they can go well with hang drying. But when it comes
Super
like
hots
to
don't
certain
do
other
so
strains,
good in that method.
yeah, yeah, I agree with you on that one. A lot of some
They
super hots,
gotta
not so much.
be dried a little quicker.
Yeah, so some of them need a little encouragement.
That's
So
why I was thinking if I just take them and slice them in half, at least
yeah,
because I've cut super hots in half and put them on a paper plate inside and let them sit for a while, and they get pretty much dried out. Not all the way, but
yeah,
at least it would help kind of slow down the aging process to where I could then dehydrate them out the rest of the way to do powders.
yeah. There's some of them. What some people do sometimes is they'll some people also freeze some of them before they do that.
Yeah,
Some people do.
but then you
I
gotta
haven't
have
really
a
done that.
lot of freezer space.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you on that one. I haven't done that too much, but I mean, I've seen, people do that as well.
I do
Uh,
freeze some pods, but usually when I freeze pods, I'm freezing them for one of two things, and that would be to make sauces and to cook with. Because
yeah,
some certain peppers, usually the thinner walled peppers, do okay if you freeze them. Jalapenos and stuff obviously don't do so good if you try to freeze them, but some of the other ones, like some Thai peppers and stuff, you can freeze them and then thaw them back out enough to chop them up and cook with them, and they're still good.
yeah. So yeah, some of them when you freeze them and then you thaw them out, or they get all turn to mush pretty much.
Yeah,
But I don't know. There just really depends on the strains. I mean, some respond well to certain circumstances better than others. But I've learned to have, if you can, get like multiple dehydrators if possible.
yeah,
Some people dehydrate using ovens sometimes, but I wouldn't use an oven out of more respect for the family
yeah.
because I know if
That's
I
my
use an
same
oven to
issue.
dehydrate, I mean, because the oven will just like, fumigate the whole house almost.
Yeah, I just couldn't do that here either. I get a lot of complaints about peppers and pepper related smells and things, and I don't even do stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I can only imagine how bad it would be if I had the oven full of some super hots.
Yeah. Yeah. There's been times where I've been doing some making of some spicy goodies and stuff, and I uh, I had I had made the mistake of doing that through some of the heating process, and it got in the house. I mean, just fumigated the whole entire floor, and
Mm,
it was just like next thing I know, in the middle of winter, when it was freezing out, snow on the ground everywhere. Uh, we had to open up like almost all the windows, open up doors to the house. We had to do that for like about 20 minutes and a half hour or so just to get it aired out enough to where we could close up the doors and windows again to breathe right.
yeah.
Because it was like, whoops. It was just one of those honest, little simple mistakes and whatnot. But ever since then, I kind of, learned to be more careful. So,
Last one that I did that really ticked my mom off, and it was a total accident, but I had taken a paper plate and I use paper plates as like disposable cutting boards for some
oh,
things
yeah,
sometimes. And I'd taken a couple chocolate habaneros and just minced them up on a plate real quick to like
yeah,
put on. I don't remember what I was cooking, but I put on some of the uh, peppers that Scott Tippett had sent me, and he sent me some of those chocolate habaneros. I said I had never tried them, and they're awesome. I really, really like those. But I took a couple and minced them up on a paper plate, and I was in the kitchen cooking, and I had a burner that I just turned off, and it was still warm, and I accidentally set on that burner like
oh
right
no,
after I'd scraped the peppers off of it,
oh
and
man,
it heated up and those fumes started to release because there was oil all over that paper plate, and my mom started choking. She got so mad at me. I started choking first, and then she was laughing at me about it, and then like 5 minutes later she was in there like choking, like covering her face and stuff.
oh man,
She tolerates it, but she doesn't like it.
yeah, yeah. That stuff's kind of, I don't know, something else when it happens. But I mean, I remember like a couple of seasons ago, I was making some certain spices and stuff like that, and I was just grinding some marungas up. The next thing I know, like say just like a cloud went up in there, and just like caught me in the middle of the cloud of it. And I was just like, I was like, I was like, I was trying to breathe and stuff like that, and it got me because I breathed in a good breath of that cloud,
Hmm.
and that ain't even got in my eyes and my nose and everything. And I had to step outside real quick from where I was at, and I was just standing outside. I was kind of laughing, or I mean, I was kind of, doing the little trying to clear my lungs, and and then I was during that whole thing, I caught myself kind of laughing, and I was like, wait, why am I laughing? It was kind of funny because I was laughing at myself, like, yeah, that's what you get. I mean, I can understand why people would laugh at something like that because I was laughing at myself for doing it to myself. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
kind of laughed about. I know I had mentioned it the other day when you'd brought up getting the seed in your eye,
oh
and
yeah,
that I'm sure that sucked. But man, the Reaper powder experience. I laughed about it afterwards, like even 30 minutes afterwards, but it was like full panic mode. I've never been so like alarmed so quick by something because I had just completely Reaper powder covered gloves where I'd been grinding up, I mean, bags full of dried Reapers. And I went to go like lift my mask up over my face for a minute because I do wear like usually one of those little paper masks. And I do it outside too, just because the how it just comes out in a cloud sometimes. It's just better to do that outside. That way it doesn't get everywhere.
yeah,
So I was out on the porch doing that, and like the mask, I was still choking up wearing the mask, and I needed to move it up over my face for a minute. So I moved it up, no problem. And then when I was going and I was adjusting it back down and moving it back down over my face, like I got to like right by my eye and the strap like pawn the elastic and like just sprinkle of Reaper powder directly off the glove directly into my eye. It was like I
yeah,
just like took a shaker and like shook some into my eye.
yeah. I know that
It was
feeling.
pretty bad.
I can relate to that because there's times where I was cutting up some ultra highs. I wasn't really thinking about
Normally I don't flush my eyes out over stuff like that, but this was like a good like amount of powder.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I can relate to that. But yeah, that was yeah. When stuff like that happens, it's just like, oh, you always start kicking yourself about it. It's like, dang it. And then but but yeah, there's times where I was cutting up some ulcer highs before, and I had like a major itch, and I wasn't thinking about it. I went like this and rubbed my eye.
Way I
You
look
know,
at
I was
it
just
is it's just another learning experience.
yeah. So
I've pulled some
yeah,
eyes so many times. I always am bad about that. I'll like forget to wash my hands after I'm dealing with a bunch of peppers, and then I'll just go like rub my eye really hard, and it sucks every time.
yeah, yeah.
I've gotten to where it doesn't really bother me so much anymore, but it still just is irritating.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that one thing yeah, it is irritating. I mean, it's one of those things I end up catching myself afterwards. It's like it's like makes me kind of feel like an idiot, but then at the same time I'm laughing at myself about it. It's like, it's
Well,
like
at the
almost
same time, I've like legitimately washed my hands, like heavily washed my hands like 3 times, and then gone and sat down and rubbed my eye and still had the same thing happen. Those oils just are hard to get out of your skin, and sometimes it doesn't matter what you do, that's just going to be in there until it comes out. I don't know if
Yeah.
it soaks in fully or if it just rubs off, but I know that sometimes, even if you wash and scrub and do everything, that oil just sits there.
Yeah, it has time to soak into the skin and then it just stays there. But yeah, man, shoot. What time is it?
10:41.
All right. Let's see here.
I hadn't been able to see the chat because I only have this one device up right now. The other one
Oh
froze
yeah,
up. I
I'll
just
check.
got it up and running, but I got plugged in. So sorry to anybody on the chat that said anything to me. I just hadn't had any way to keep up with it because I'm just streaming this off of my phone
Yeah,
right
I
now.
know how that goes, man. Let's see. Let's see. What's up, Tina? New face is in here. So. Yeah, Bernie. I know.
Yeah,
That whole
Kyle actually had
What's up?
sorry,
Oh, you're
I didn't
sounding
mean
out.
to interrupt. I think that the delay is messing it up because sometimes I'll start talking and you'll start talking.
Oh no, I noticed you were getting ready to talk, and I was just waiting to see what you said, but then
Did
it
you see
just cut
the
right there.
post that I made on PLC earlier today?
No, I don't think I did. I haven't been on it too much today.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been on.
Kyle Waller sent me some of the Packy or Pocky haunted ghost pepper chips.
Oh,
I
that's
haven't been
right.
able to
That's
find
right.
those still yet. Yeah,
That's
he
right.
just
Yeah, I did
surprised me
actually
with
see
them
that
because
post.
I traded some seeds with him though, and I gave him some powders and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try and get a surprise and send it to you." And he totally surprised me. This like big box showed up, and there was a bag of those ghost pepper chips. I still hadn't opened them up yet. I just got them yesterday.
Uh,
But yeah, I got the one of the ones that I'm super excited for that I just want to see how it is this New Mex lemon spice jalapeno. That was one he was
oh
like
yeah,
super
that'll be
excited about. He
interesting.
told
That'll
me
be
what ones he
interesting.
was going to be getting. I think he bought them. Yeah, he got them from Refining Fire Chilies, and that was one of the ones that I'd asked him for because he was got a bunch of extras, and he hooked me up with some of those. So I'm gonna plant some of those here in the next couple days, and I only have, or I don't know if I have any jalapenos planted yet. I have some mammoth jalapenos that I usually do, and I gave my buddy Jonathan a bunch of seeds, and I think he's got like 12 plants of them up. So I'm gonna be pretty well set on getting jalapenos from him because he's not going to use them all. But I'm definitely
Yeah.
going to do these lemon spice ones and see how they are. That should
Yeah,
be pretty
that should
cool.
be interesting.
There was
I'd
a
like to
couple
see how
other
those
cool
turn out.
ones. Chocolate Reaper, Big Bang, which is another cool one that I'd like to see how it turns out. It's one of the Big Bang is one of the space chilies.
Yeah, those ghost pepper chips are interesting.
Was it you that or I know it was you. You'd brought up some lemon drop cross to me recently and
Yeah,
asked me about was it Teppan crossed with lemon
yes,
drop?
yes. Yeah, I was going to send you them, but
Yeah, I actually he gave me 4 seeds to that one. There, I got a seed and then I got the other 3 they'd sent were Fatali Brain and Orange Ricotta, which
well,
I
man,
I have only pineapple ricotta
okay.
seeds right
Yeah, I was
now,
going to say I'll still
so
send
that'll
you
be
those few
cool.
seeds I
I'll
got of that.
try to sprout some. I still have never tried to sprout any ricotta.
Oh, but yeah, those ricotta's are annoying.
Huh?
I mean, they're good peppers, but they're just annoying to get going to a certain way.
Yeah. J Herb from in the PLC, me and him talk, and whenever he sprout, he has so much stuff going this year. It's crazy. He has cups all over his house, but he sprouted a bunch of ricottas and Monzanos, and he had really good luck getting them up. And he said that the way that he found was best for him was just putting them straight to dirt and just keep it moist and kind of in a cool area.
Yeah, I've
Not
heard
like
people.
cool, but like not hot. Not on a
Yeah,
heating mat, I should say.
there's some people that I've talked to about getting Ricardo started. Some people have had really good luck with starting them in like those arrow garden things. Some people, several people told me they've had really good luck with that. And then some other people have had like, really good luck, kind of like with what you're saying. Then some other people have just said different things and it's just come out different ways. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just different, I think, because those ones,
I've never
well,
been much for the paper towel method. I know the paper towel method works, but I just don't really like
no,
doing the paper towel method.
no,
I've
I don't
always
care.
been a seed to dirt type of guy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
just the
I don't
way
care
that
for the
I've
paper
always
towel
done
method
it, and
a
it
lot myself
works the
either.
best for me. And I don't see any reason in trying other things. I have a lot more that sprout die off if I do the paper towel method. It seems like if I do a seed straight to dirt, they come up like no problem. But it's just so finicky getting those roots off of there in the paper towel if you don't get time. And yeah, I know you can cut a little piece of the paper towel and plant it, but I have a lot more seeds come up with the helmet head issue doing it if I do them from paper towel. Doing it
Yeah,
directly in dirt, just something about the natural way, just that works best, at least for me. I know everybody has their own little method, but that's what I've found.
yeah, I agree with you on that. Um, I've had some success with the paper towel methods. I mean, depending on how some go, uh, there's some of them that just worked really well with it. Other ones, not so much. Um, I've tried Ricados and Manzanos in paper towel methods, and I've had them in some of those for a month and a half, and it only sprouted like a little root, maybe about an inch long. And then some of them I'll put in dirt, they wouldn't get anywhere. It's just like, yeah, no, I'm not dealing with that. And now I've tried other ways to get them sprouted. They'll start, and then they'll just after they start with the little seedling part, they'll just kind of go away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of possibly using the little arrow garden thingy to at least start some up, because I've heard some people have decent success with trying it through there. So I mean,
Seems like from what I've heard,
there.
if you put a seed in the arrow garden, it will sprout. Pretty much
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of
I might have to
possibly.
get one of those small ones, just like the whatever the little small one is. That's
Yeah,
kind
there's
of the
ones that are like
slender
the
looking model.
yeah there's the ones that are like the $50, $60 or $40 to $50 bottle or something like that. Then I'll get the little seed tray part, and then I just use that as a seed germinator, you know?
Yeah, I might do that and try that out maybe next year or something. And then, I mean, it would be cool because I could also use it in the like not seed germinating time. I could use it for herbs and stuff and just have some fresh basil and things in the house.
Oh yeah, basil does really well starting off in those things. I mean,
Yeah.
I still got two basil plants that I started in the arrow garden thing, which I took them straight out of there and put them in those little coffee containers with just nutrients and water, and they're still going. So, I mean,
Do you cut off of those and use it to cook with, or do you just kind
oh
of
yeah,
grow it just to grow?
I've cut off those a bunch of times. I mean, I don't know how
Yeah.
many times I've cut off those arrow guard or those basils, and they keep coming back. The ones that I got
Yeah,
that
that's
are
the
still
cool thing
going,
about stuff like that. They just, you can't kill them off as long as you've got a stem and roots, they'll grow back.
yeah. I mean, these ones are, and the one plus thing side about those is they do really well in just water and a little bit of nutrients just by themselves.
Hmm.
That's the good thing about herbs. No, they're really easy to mess with. Um, Here, see if I can get them in on the camera here in a second. But see them right down there.
Yeah, those are getting big and bushy.
Yeah, I've already cut them back like I don't know, like more than half a dozen times.
Wow.
Uh, and they keep coming back, so that's the plus side about them. And yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to plant some basil this year. I tried to grow some last year, and the squirrels and chipmunks kept chewing it down to a nub.
freaking
I don't
squirrels.
know where I'm gonna have to put it to keep it away from. They don't like my pepper plants, and I think that my theory is that they're rebelling against me since I grow so many pepper plants and they don't like them. I think
Oh
they've
wait, did you have them
probably
in?
experimented with them,
Did
but
you
they
have them
don't ever
in the
messed with
ground?
them. But if I ever try to grow tomatoes or anything that's good and doesn't have heat, they just destroy it.
Did you have them in the ground or in planters?
I haven't had too many in planters and in the ground. I've had issues with both.
Okay. But what I can suggest with herbs.
I've got a big walnut tree in my yard. It's herbs, tomatoes, I mean, pretty much any vegetable that you could grow, they'll just ravage it. And they won't mess with it all the time, but it's like this past season I had a couple nice tomato plants, and every time I'd go out there in the morning, I'd be like, oh, there's like a few tomatoes starting to ripen up. I'd go back inside, come back out 30 minutes later, they'd be completely gone. And sometimes I'd find one like laying down below, like with some tooth marks in it. And my mom even caught, she saw the chipmunk come up there and grab some a couple times, but they'll just go up and climb the plant and chew it off at the stem, let it fall down, and then drag it away and eat it. And I saw several times where squirrels would just come up and grab one and run away. They'd like go up in a tree and eat it in front of me and just be like, F you.
Yeah, those dang squirrels though, man. But yeah, I was gonna suggest that maybe you should give growing herbs in the house a try. I mean,
That's what I'm gonna
if you
do,
got
and that's why I
if you
think
got
the
a
Aero
space
Garden
where,
would be a cool idea, because then I could do it inside. But I could probably just do it in some simple, like hydroponic nutrients and water. I mean, I know how
well,
some of those things
what I
do
could
good in just
suggest
water.
is that like say if you got at least the A light or a light that can work good for a few plants, then
Uh-huh.
you could just run run those once you get the basil started doing like say if you do get one of those things, those little Aero Garden things, then maybe you could try those to kind of do it like what I did with those two over there is get like little coffee containers or some kind of containers, put them in there like that in a certain way, and then with the water and nutrients, and then just set them under a light, and they'll take off from there. I
Yeah.
mean, as of what I did in one of my videos, I kind of basically more or less just took it straight out of the Aero Garden thing with that little neck, with that little cup thing, and then had the whole pre-cut in the little coffee container and had some nutrients and water mixed in a jug, filled it so far. What I've noticed is you don't fill the jug up so far or the container up so far. Just have it like, I don't know, around 70% full with the water and nutrients, and then it should do good. Even sometimes like half full because
Yeah.
I mean, it's for some reason if you fill it all the way up, it just doesn't let everything breathe or somehow. And I guess some of the roots need to breathe some air,
Mhm.
and I don't know, just those have done really well. But what I think I'm going to do is after that one little plant in the Aero Garden, I guess those little 2 pods on that one producing or ripe, I'm just going to pull that one out and try to transplant that into something else. And then possibly make room for another cross or something of mine. Who knows? Oh,
That's cool.
I don't know.
I noticed the other day on my black pearl that I overwintered inside. The only plant I brought in my house, and I just brought it in with the house plants in the living room. I haven't had it under a light or anything. It's just kind of been chilling by the door, and
Yeah.
I haven't really had any problem with pests or anything. Some of the leaves were a little damaged, and I went ahead and plucked off all the bigger leaves on it during the winter, and it's got just new growth popping out all over the place, and it's been budding up a lot and flowering recently. And I was looking at it on one of the branches, the other day. I've been taking it out any day that's nice and just sticking it on the porch to get sun. And I was looking at one of the branches, and there's like a little pod forming, so that's cool. I
Nice.
didn't expect that I would get a pod yet, but it's ready to go back into action. I think I'm gonna take it and I'm just gonna plant it directly in the ground as soon as I can, just to free up that planter and see how big
Yeah.
it can get, because it's already a pretty big plant. And
Yeah.
I think
Once
that
you
if
get
I
it,
put it
you know,
directly in the ground, it'll really be happy.
yeah, once you get that in the ground, I'm sure it'll shoot up and just explode in a lot of growth. I mean, it'll get out there because
Yeah.
there's ones.
I'm gonna
And
let
like,
it keep going. It's got kind of a funky formation to it, the way that it grew. It grew last year straight up in just a straight stalk, branched out like a cluster of arms just going every direction, every like, and it all comes from in like, instead of how most plants will kind of Y and just go into like two sections, this one wide into like six sections. So I just kind of let it do its thing, and now each
yeah,
one has its own top where it's wanting to branch out into all these different layers. And I mean, I know how those things cluster up with pods, and those arms can get heavy. So I might even like stake it or put a cage around it or something to keep it upright, just and let it do its thing. I don't care. I'm not going to do any trimming on it. It'll
yeah,
grow. It'll be a fun experiment. I like black pearls too. I
yeah. I
definitely
like
enjoy
black
having them
pearls
around.
too. Black pearls are nice plants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've yeah, ever since I've been growing a number of them, I've gotten varied results from them, and plants grow in different ways, and it's nice to see the different results from each plant.
Yeah.
Um,
I've grown
I
a
mean, I've
lot of them, and out of everyone I've ever grown, I've never seen this like formation, how it grew straight up and then branched out into all these tentacle arms.
yeah, it's interesting to see the results you come up with. Um,
Usually
yeah,
they stay pretty bushy and pretty low, but this one, I could tell from the beginning it just wanted to grow and reach for the sky.
okay, that's cool. I'll be interested to see how you can get that to turn out this season. But
Yeah.
I've had some black pearls where instead of just going tall, but these are ones I've left in containers. Some of them will just reach out and just kind of hang down, not really grow so tall. Some of them will get bushy, but then I've had some that have just turned entirely green, and when
Yeah.
the pods would come on it, the pods would turn like a key lime pie color, and
With
then
purple spots on them.
oh no, they didn't even have purple on them. It'd just be like a key lime pie kind of color. And then when they turn ripe, they'll turn the red color like the black pearls do. And I'll try them, and it'd be just the same, same flavor and everything of black pearl, but it'll just be all green and just different. And it looked the
Yeah.
same, but just different color. I was like, wow.
I had a few plants last year that did the exact same thing and grew those green pods. And I noticed on a couple of them that even when they would ripen to red, it would stay like they grew green with purple spots. And then when they would ripen to red, sometimes those purple spots would stay on there,
Nice. Yeah, it's
which was
interesting to
kind of
see
weird.
the variations. But yeah, let's see who's been chatting in here.
Like I said, I'm sorry to anybody in the chat. I don't have any way to look at it right now. I haven't been
Let's
ignoring anyone. I just can't see what's going on.
Oh, Bernie says he's got to go. All right, Bernie. Talk to you guys. Talk to you later. Um,
Later, Bernie. I'll message you sometime later on.
Oop, I got a notification. But yeah, um, I could suggest that if you want to kind of reduce any risk for any any of those little squirrels or something messing with any herbs or something you might be trying to grow, I'd say grow them inside. They're fairly easy to grow, and you don't have to mess with them as much as any other plants. You don't have to worry about trying to pollinate them or anything. So,
Yeah.
and plus side about growing basil inside is it can be rather aromatic, so it can produce a nice smell in there too.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely love the smell of basil. Like I've had some growing some little plants before on the windowsill. But the part that sucks is that I really like to use it cooking.
Yeah.
And when I grow a little plant inside, I'm like, I feel attached to it, so I don't want to cut off it as much. But if you
Uh,
grow it outside, it gets so big and bushy that you couldn't use all of it.
well, that's the thing is, I can suggest if you have a grow light or something you use it as a grow light, put those basil under it, they'll grow rather quick. Um,
I
but
might,
what I've done with the
here
basil,
once I get all my stuff out, I've got that shop light, just the fluorescent strip light, and it's a 4 foot long strip, and
oh,
I could grow. I mean,
then you
at
could grow a
least,
good number of basil right under that.
yeah, I
Um,
was gonna say I could grow at least 6 to 8 or more nice like herb plants like that, and I definitely want to grow some mint. I love mint,
oh yeah,
and
mint's something else. I would say with mint, I would suggest getting a good sized planter for that. Um, a
yeah.
really good size one for mint. Because those things, next thing you know, once it starts going, it just goes. But
Well, I'll just
um,
keep chopping it off because I'll use mint in all kinds of stuff.
yeah,
I
um,
mean, even just chop it and dry it. I like mint tea. I've even made mint tea with my own mint that
yeah,
I've just cut and dried like that.
yeah, I'm going to just basically with me, I'm just going to stick with letting the mint grow outside because I got a mint plant that I've been going for a couple of seasons out in the back in the garden area, and I could cut that down. I could cut it, and then it'll just come right back real strong. And the plus side about it is you can go outside, kind of wave your hand over the plant, and it'll just produce that minty smell in there. So
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
love it.
so
I like if I'm
yeah, I
out
think
like walking around in the garden and I had some mint going. My favorite thing to do is just grab a few leaves and just chew on it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a that's the one thing about mint is it comes back every year, so you don't have to do a whole lot with that. It just comes back naturally on its own. Um, but yeah, mint's a nice one, and so yeah. Then basil is a nice plant. I think I might have to trim a couple of leaves off the basil plants, but probably not going to be cutting branches off it because I haven't actually cut branches off too much on them. I just mostly just snip off a few leaves here and there, and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I think I might start, drying some of the leaves out for the basil, and then giving it to my parents because they don't mind using basil every so often.
Basil's good in just about anything that you could cook.
Yeah.
Those, speaking of cooking, those burgers that you sent me pictures of earlier look so awesome. That made me just really, I like have to grill. I've been thinking about grilling, but I just have to grill something soon after seeing
Yeah.
that like killed me.
Yeah. I was just like, I saw how it was today, and I was just like, you know what? I was like, I was like, I was like, man, I just got to. I got to get out there and pull out the grill. So I had the chance, so I
We've
did it.
had plenty of good days to be able to grill, but I just hadn't grilled anything yet this year. I've actually got a package. It's like four like pork chops, or they're pork loin chops. It's a 2 pound package and it's four of them. So I guess each one's like a half pound. And I've got a big bag of Kingsford hickory charcoal. But my problem is that my charcoal starter, I like using those chimney starters where you just stuff a little newspaper under it and light it that way versus using starter fluid or anything. And my chimney starter just kind of deteriorated and fell apart. So I gotta get a new one. And I've been putting it off and just hadn't gotten really like $5 or $10, but I just hadn't gotten one. I hadn't been by Home Depot or anywhere that carries one in a while.
Hey man, I'm listening to what you're saying. It's just I was reading some of these comments real quick. A couple people are talking
Oh,
about
that's fine.
how YouTube has been going. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's just I've noticed with pulling out the grill and everything, it's just getting a little. It's getting a little different with the way the weather is, and then pulling out the grill, and it just seems more. It seems like it's turns like most a good portion of the day just being surrounded the grill.
Oh yeah, I could grill all day long. I love grilling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the thing is, I like grilling, and yeah, just maybe play some music or something. Just be out there with the grill, flipping everything on the grill. Just not too long ago, I was at one of the stores and got a new flipper or a new spatula thing. That one's like for $5. That's not bad. So, I mean,
A new spatula.
yeah, a new spatula thing. It's got like some one part's got like a serrated edge on one side, another part's got another thing, and it's pretty sturdy. I mean,
That's cool.
yeah. So
I actually got a new one last year. I want to say it's like KitchenAid brand or something. It's some like high price brand, but it's a nice spatula and it's one of the like longer bladed spatulas. Instead of having the handle straight off, it has the handle at a 90-degree angle though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's a long thing and then the handle comes straight up instead of like being a long blade with like a handle that goes straight back. It's like a
yeah,
different angled one, but I kind of
yeah,
like it. It's really good for, and because it's so long, it's a good one for flipping like big steaks and stuff. But it
yeah,
was at a park where I go fishing, and they have some like little community grills and stuff. And these people just like trashed the place and left a bunch of stuff. And me and one of my buddies like picked up some of the trash and were throwing it away. And then I saw that like spatula sitting there by the grill, and it was like a brand new one. I think I even found the little tag that had come on it, where they literally like bought it that day and then used it and just left it there with like all their other trash. But this area,
Yeah,
there's a
that's
lot of
unfortunate.
wealthy
That's
idiots
unfortunate when
around, so
people do
that's
that on
kind of
those
the
kind of
thing that they
grills,
do.
man.
But it's cool because I find all kinds of cool stuff like that laying around that people just abandon.
Yeah, I've seen people. I've been at places where they have those kind
Yeah.
of grills at places,
I
and
really hate seeing it, especially like in the river around here. There's all
oh yeah,
these young kids that,
yeah.
uh, yeah,
I know what you're
the
talking
kids
about.
around here, they have no respect for anything, and they go in the river all the time and sit and drink a bunch of beers, and they just throw beer cans all over the place and leave all this trash, and it ends up washing away every time that there's a heavy rain, and it's kind of depressing. I hate seeing the impact that people have on the what are normally pristine, beautiful places.
Yeah, I've gone to places like that, and then around those spots where they got some of those grills at, it just looks like people are just, like you said, just throwing stuff around and not being very polite about it, and just, see trash just all over the place when there's a trash can not but a couple feet away, and
Yeah,
it's just, it's like because they don't really care about it. I mean, what's the point in being all like, disrespectful or rude like that, But some people are just
people
like
just
that.
don't care.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But yeah,
I
I
actually
mean,
made some complaints on these one kids that just kept trashing every weekend. They would go and trash the spot, and I pulled together all the cans and bottles that I could find that hadn't been thrown in the river, and it was, I mean, more than you could fit in like two big black trash bags. And I took pictures of it, and I sent them. I know this lady that runs a tackle shop in town, and she's friends with some of the wildlife resource agents, and so I just sent her pictures, told her where it was, where these kids were putting in their kayaks at, where they were going to, and all that. And I mean, I'm sure all of them are underage, and I didn't want to just be a jerk and call in on them like that, but it got to where, and I had words with them, and they'd start acting like they were going to fight me. And so I just backed off and just went about it my own way. But they were trashing the river every weekend. I mean, hundreds of cans and bottles. And
yeah,
I just had to put a stop to it. And I didn't ever figure out what happened, but I know that I hadn't seen them there since then. So I guess that the problem sorted itself out somehow.
yeah, yeah. I know. I've known people to be like that, and that's just sad when they just accept that as a thing to do, just go trashing places, and then
I understand these kids like wanting to go out there and have a good time and stuff, but I mean, if they can fit these cases of beer into their kayaks, they can carry the empties out with them. Like, that's
yeah,
always been my motto for everything. If you can pack it in, you can pack it out. And especially with things like beers, I mean, once you've already drank them, they don't weigh very much. And if you could get it in there, you can get it out of there. And
well,
there's
yeah.
just
Plus,
no excuse.
well, and also a lot of places
And
you
most
can,
anywhere that you go like that is a place where there's a trash can.
yeah. I mean, because trash cans aren't that far hard to find when you, especially if it's at a park or something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
even if the person's going to be drinking or something like that, I mean, there's always a dumpster or a trash can somewhere around. So, I mean, rather than just being lazy, a person could easily just, you know, take it straight to a garbage can or something. I've definitely seen people do that.
That was my point to these kids and what I tried telling them, because where they get in and get out at, there's 2 trash cans that they literally have to walk in between to drag their kayaks out of the river. And I was like, look, there's literally trash cans right there. Just take your trash and throw it away there instead of leaving it out here to damage the wildlife. And they got all pissy with me and started getting in my face. And I said, screw it. I'm going to talk to TWRA and we'll figure this out. And they were like, go ahead, do it. And I was like, I will.
It's like,
I took
okay, if you really
pleasure
want that,
in making that happen. I don't want to ruin anybody's fun, but I just wish that they would have had some consideration or just used their head.
yeah, yeah. Some of them were just some of those people that get out to be like that. It's just ridiculous. And get really confrontational, have an attitude when they don't need to be. It's like come on, man. I mean, just do a little bit of thinking before just do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not about
This
anybody.
was
It's not
like
about
a bunch of big, muscly meathead high school kids that
yeah.
thought that they were the shit. And I just kind of laughed and smirked and I turned away and that was that. I didn't want to even go there.
Yeah, I get you, man.
I'm not afraid to call people out like that when I see them out places that I enjoy to go, that I help keep clean, because I always carry an extra bag with me and pick up garbage. I mean, not every time I go out do I pick up garbage, but a lot of times I will, especially if I'm at somewhere where there's somewhere I can carry the bag to and throw it away. Like if there's
Yeah,
trash cans, I mean, certain areas of the river I go to where stuff just washes down to, it would be such a task to pack out the stuff that I pick up, but I do my best to clean up the rivers and every creek system around here that I fish in. I carry out trash. If I see
yeah,
trash at a spot, I'll take my time to clean it all up. I mean, it usually only takes a couple minutes to clean somewhere up and just makes it look so much better.
yeah. In regards to
I respect the ecosystem and
yeah,
I
definitely have
dislike our
respect for the
impact on it
ecosystem.
sometimes.
But I've seen a number of people that when they go out somewhere like that, places like that, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, let's bring some beer." They'll bring like a case, a 12-pack or a case or something with them, and they'll just start tossing their stuff randomly. It's like, dude, and when when it's more effort to bring in the case that's full of all that beer and all that, but it's a lot less effort to carry it with you to toss it somewhere or toss it as you're going into a trash bin or something, because
Yeah,
it's just like, how is it so hard to take that extra step to go like that to put it somewhere rather than just throw it at your feet. It's not even all that time consuming or straining. And I've seen people do that, and it's
actually,
just like,
today while I was out fishing, I didn't have any extra bag with me and I was wading in the river, so I didn't have any like ability to carry any extra stuff, but I picked up 3 or 4 cans and put them in my bag. I didn't really have room for anything, but where I was at, there was a trash can next to where we had parked, so
yeah,
I carried out like 4 cans in my bag and threw them away.
yeah, I get what you're
Weren't even
saying
mine.
totally, because I've seen how people are. There was even for like a few weeks or like a month or so, like I was at the state park, and I was helping some of the guys there, and I was basically going around the park, being sure everything was in order, helping some of them stain a few tables here and there, um, picking up some extra big pieces that would need to be moved, like down branches or something like that. Some other things here and there. Plus side about it, you got to ride what they call their gator around, which is they're basically like a
Yeah, those things are
6-wheeler.
cool.
Yeah, and it was just like that was pretty cool. So I got to drive that around like the whole entire lake area, and they basically gave me few garbage bags and one of those little things with the handle, that those long reach grabber things that's got the two little prongs on the end.
Yeah.
And I just basically used that, for as little things that would, be easier to grab that with. But a lot of it would be, a lot of bottles, cans, just random other miscellaneous containers or so. And then there were some spots. There's this one spot, literally, that they would have those little propane attachments that you'd put on like a little grill or a little burner. That'd probably be about like so big of a thing, probably
Yeah,
like
I
maybe
know
a
what you're
couple
talking
liters
about.
size. And there was like maybe 7, 8 of them, like just right there within about 10-foot span.
Hmm.
It's like, dude, really? And it was like it was probably within like maybe 15 feet of
These
the
things.
water's edge.
This is what you're talking
Yeah,
about. These
something
little
like that. Yeah,
canisters.
something
Yeah, I've
like
got
that.
one for a torch.
Well, some of them were around that, but some of them were just slightly smaller. But there was roughly like 8 of them or something like that. At least 8, if I remember correctly. And it was all right. I mean, it was an all right place to be. I mean, in regards to a job, I wouldn't half mind it because I mean, you don't really have too many people breathing over you, barking orders at you, and you get to spend a lot of time outside. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, the major drawback to me personally would be to deal with them outhouses. But
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a big drawback to me. But
Yeah, it's a pretty big drawback.
I mean, but most of the other aspects of that job wouldn't be all that bad. But yeah, but otherwise, that'd be kind of a. Eh. But yeah, it was just a night. It's not bad. It's just you'd see more of how people mistreat or get careless, about those kind of places. I mean,
Yeah.
because I don't know, I like being outside, I like being around nature and stuff like that. I just appreciate it more than some other people do.
I try to spend as much of my time as I can outside. That's where I've always
Yeah,
enjoyed spending my time.
yeah, I like being outside myself too. That's one thing that sucks about working first shift. Most of the day is spent inside, not being outside, doing stuff like that. But I mean, it is what it is, though.
When I was a kid, that was all I used to do was spend my time outside. And I feel so bad for everybody in this day and age growing up as a child, just with a phone glued to their face all the time and just technology and stuff. I mean, I didn't have any of that. I remember my big excitement was to come home at 5 p.m. to watch The Simpsons. and it was like, oh, watch Simpsons and King of the Hill. That was like my excitement. But
Oh yeah.
going out and running around in the woods barefoot for the whole day and coming back and eating dinner, that was what made growing up fun. Playing in
Oh
creeks,
yeah.
getting dirty.
Yeah, that's the thing is nowadays a lot of people are not like that anymore, man. I mean, most of the younger generations are so eager to just sit and be inside, away from everything, not going outside so much, and stuck on their devices, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, whether it
I
be,
kind of tried to detox myself from it a little bit over the past couple weeks. I've been just like really getting away from it as much as I can. Still keeping up with things, but I
yeah,
try to just kind of live life and then have that be like something to do in some downtime because everybody's been there and everybody knows what I'm talking about. But that point at which you realize that it's like if your phone dies or something, you panic because you just like can't like see what's going on and check notifications and stuff. I
oh,
remember
yeah.
not even having phones, so to me, I don't know. I enjoy it, but don't get me wrong. I spend tons of time looking at my phone in the day, but
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been trying to make it a point to myself recently to do that less, at least at certain times in the day, just to like see what's going on in the world. You can't see what's going on in the world if your face is always glued to a screen.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, like, like what I've mentioned to you before, is that every so often I'll always, with my phones or whatever, every so often I'll pop the SIM card out and pop it into one of those older model phones, like whether it be a slider or flip phone. And that way, I could actually do what I really, am paying for the phone as what I need it for is, maybe message somebody, maybe call somebody, you know, and that's what I basically really am paying the phone for the most part is just it is to stay connected, but it's not have to be, like I'm wired into it and have to be on, updating this or, oh I gotta, tell people I'm doing this right this second now, or I gotta check on this post, you know. I mean, that way with one those being on one of those devices, it's basically separating from that for just a certain period of time, and then if I need to get back to a house after a certain time of day, and then catch up on some of those things I need then, you know. But I don't know. It's just like kind of like a breather, time to reboot, you know.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I like staying up to date on the social media and all that. But everybody needs that little separation time, you know.
It's just so easy to get caught up in it so quick.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Next thing you're checking one post and checking another post and checking this and that and the other thing, and 5 hours later, it's like, oh shit, I'm still doing this. Or oh snap.
Yeah. Sometimes even just in hangouts, I get overwhelmed. Like I love like being in touch with so many people and having so many friends and stuff, but sometimes it just gets overwhelming because it seems like it's no matter what, every time everybody's free all at once. It can't be like, oh, somebody's free at this point and you're free at this point, like in different times. It's always, and same with my friends that I hang out with a lot, and they all seem to come around at the same time. I won't hear from anybody for a while, and it'll just be like dead calm, and then all at once everybody messages you, and it gets
Yeah,
overwhelming trying to like keep up with so many conversations and check other things. And I don't know,
Yeah,
just technology sucks in general. It's really neat
yeah.
and
I
it's
mean,
awesome
there's
and I
some cool
appreciate it, but
there's some cool
I hate
aspects
it
of
too.
technology, but there's a lot of things that technologies is like, eh. But I mean, I can remember when things were much
I miss the good
simpler.
old days of having a cord phone and
Yeah, yeah. You know,
yeah, cord phones were awesome.
people
I liked,
actually.
and then there was like the big craze of when caller ID was like becoming a big thing, and then it
Oh
was
yeah,
awesome because you'd have
don't
a
forget
cord phone
voicemail.
and caller ID, and then you could see who was calling and see if you wanted to answer or not. But
Yeah,
yeah, that
voicemail.
was the best. And then if you really don't want anybody to call, you can just leave the phone off the hook.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly. That was like I miss a lot of that stuff, man. I mean, if it was simpler, now everything's just more complicated. I mean,
Yeah,
it
and
just
now
seems
if you
like
don't reply somebody within like 5 minutes, they assume that you're dead. Whereas like
yeah,
back in the
there's like
day,
something. There's could be
people
something going on.
call somebody, may not even get a response for like a week.
Yeah, there's like there's a lot
Like
of
my
things.
girlfriend, I was out fishing uh in the past couple weeks, and my girlfriend was trying to get a hold of me, and for some reason my data like messed up, and I lost complete connection to everything, and I had to restart my phone. But I restarted it. It only been about an hour, maybe an hour and 30 minutes had gone by, and I turned my phone back on, and my girlfriend had been like blowing me up, and she was like freaking out and like just almost assuming I was dead. I was like, it's only been an hour. I'm still
Um,
fishing. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened, but my phone just messed up. Don't know what to say. But people just like jump, and I find myself doing that too. People just jump to conclusions if you like don't respond immediately.
yeah, yeah. I've known people like that. There's even people that I've been seeing or dating, and I wouldn't, I wouldn't get back to them almost immediately, and then right away go to the worst thing ever. Like, oh, oh, like I'm up to something, I'm doing something wrong. It's like, no, 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 no. I was out doing something literally. If you want somebody to verify this, it's just like, whoa. I mean, like, there's been times where I'd literally leave my phone in the house, be out in the
Yeah.
garden for a couple hours. Then next thing I know, I look at the phone, messages galore. It's like, oh, and they'd be like, where were you? It's like, I was out in the garden. You know what I'm doing? I'm out in the garden. Like, yeah, right. You're up to something. It's like, no. It's like it doesn't work that way. I can't be up to something when I'm in the garden.
Yeah.
But there's
My
there,
last phone, I like I needed to get a new phone for a long time, but my
yeah,
last phone I kept it until it completely kicked the bucket because for some reason something messed up on it to where no incoming calls could come through. People could
no,
text me, people could leave messages, and I could call people back, but no incoming calls could come through. And it was like that for almost a year. It was awesome. the second I got a new phone, I started having people calling me, and they were like, "Whoa, it worked!" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I try still not to tell everybody that my phone's like back working, just because I like that little bit of privacy. Because otherwise,
Yeah,
people just like are so quick to call and not just out of
yeah.
the
One
blue, and
thing,
I'd be out fishing or just doing
yeah,
something,
one thing that
messing with
happened
some
to
plants, whatever. And
yeah, one thing that happened to a device not long ago with one I had is that when I'd be on a phone call, I would have to have it on speakerphone in order for them to hear me. But if I
yeah,
didn't have it on speakerphone, they could not hear a word I was saying. It's like they're hearing dead air coming from my end. Even though the call was connected, they couldn't hear me unless I had it on speakerphone. So,
I've had
so they,
I've had issues like that before with phones, and a lot of times it can be just like because the speakerphone microphone is somewhere different from the regular microphone usually. And I've
yeah,
had ones where the regular microphone hole will be so small that it gets clogged really easily, and you can sometimes take like a little stick pin or something and clean out that hole, and that makes a big difference.
yeah. But I mean, since it was like that, I was just like, there'd be some people I'd just tell them, be like, hey, I don't know to tell you. The only way the phone call works is if I have it on speakerphone. So if we're going to talk, then I'll have to keep you on speakerphone just as a reminder. So be careful. So
Yeah.
if you want anything kept private, or you don't want anything people to hear certain things, so yeah,
Nowadays, everybody uses hands frees because that way they can still look at their phone and check their
yeah,
messages and stuff while they're on the phone.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. That's just like one of those things all around. I don't mind every so often doing like what I was telling you before, just popping the SIM card into an older device and then just work off that for a while, and just for like during the day, or if I got to for a little while, just for a few days, just stay with that device, and then maybe connect the Wi-Fi on the internet device, and then check the things here or there. But then when I'm out and about, just stay with the basics.
Yeah.
I mean, that way it gets more peaceful. But,
I do that when I go out. I pretty much don't pay attention to anything except like if somebody calls me. But that's the
yeah,
problem is sometimes I get so many people that call. It'll either be nobody will call. Like today, I didn't really have anybody call me, but sometimes I'll go out and like four different people that I haven't talked to in like a year all decide to call it like in a 1 hour span. And it
yeah,
always
yeah.
happens like that. It's like clockwork. People just like they can sense that you're busy, and as soon as you're busy is when everybody you've ever met in your life all tries to contact you.
Yeah, Freaky Geek just had said they were going to take off.
Said what?
One guy, Freaky Geek, said he was taking off.
Later, Freaky. I guess I'm probably gonna have to take off here pretty soon too. It's getting late. It's like 11:44.
Yeah, it's getting
I had
pretty
a
late here
long
too.
day. I'm sorry I couldn't hop on earlier. I
Oh
just had to
no,
do
it's
a few
fine. It's
things,
fine.
and
It's no problem, man. No problem at all. I just
I'm glad I could at least hop on for a little bit. Sorry I missed Alex. That would have been fun, but
yeah,
maybe next
I wasn't
time we can
expecting
all get
I
together.
wasn't expecting them to pop on so quick either, but he did. So me and him were chatting a little bit before we started the broadcast. So that was nice. So yeah,
That's cool.
but yeah, this
Yeah, if
was
I'd known that he was gonna hop on too, I would have like tried to work around doing something so that I could have freed up quicker. I just went
I mean, it's
ahead
all right.
and
I
did
mean,
what I had to do.
I wasn't really expecting him to hop on either. I mean, which I was surprised by. So I mean, but I knew you had stuff to do, and that's no problem. I mean,
Yeah, I still have laundry that I needed to finish doing. I didn't even get back around to that, but
oh,
I
that
got like,
reminds me.
yeah,
I got laundry too. Oh, dang it.
it always happens. I was more
Uh,
concerned with getting dinner done and doing a few other things, so
yeah,
it kind of
I
slipped
get
my
it.
mind.
That's understandable. That's fine, man. No problem with that at all. Everybody, you got things you need to do. I mean, same with me, everybody's got their own things. So you got to get something done. You got to get it done. I'm not, you know, I don't got a problem with that.
If it wasn't for this social media stuff, I'd have more time.
Oh,
I'd get so
oh,
much more done in the day.
oh, that's the whole thing is about the internet nowadays, and things are so much different than they once were. So
Yeah.
I mean, but different times, I guess. But I like social media. I do. I mean, that's the thing is, it's so hard to, or it's so easy to get into social media. You're spending a lot of time in it, but there's nothing wrong with it if done properly in the proper venues. You know,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it. But yeah, I think I might go ahead and get ready to call it a night here too. I'm gotta get up around 4:30 or 5 in the morning. So
Oh man. Yeah, you need to unwind and get ready for sleep. Luckily, I don't have to be up until like 7, but I
yeah,
still need to get some rest.
yeah. And that's another side effect of life. There is getting rest. But
I did a lot of fishing this weekend. That was pretty exhausting. I did a lot of like wading in the river and a lot of like hiking just to get in and out of the spots that I went to. And
yeah, I did a fair
I had a
amount of
long
cooking
day
today.
today of it. I went out. I
Yeah, I
went
did some
and waded
cooking
and
today and did some relaxing in the sun.
hiked
The
around for
dog
like
wanted me to come
5 or
home.
6 hours earlier.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I spent some time outside today. I mean, after when I was cooking, the dog kept wanting me to hold her. So, I mean, for some reason, she likes me to hold her on my lap when I'm outside. So, I don't know.
That's cool. Just a
But
big baby.
yeah, pretty much. But I don't know. I was hoping to get more cooked, but if I got time this week, I'll see about cooking some more. Who knows? But
Do you just cook them and then like portion them out for other days, or?
pretty much, yeah. I mean, I cooked like maybe about 4 pounds of meat today. That's all right amount. Could have cooked more, but I was trying to get a few things done myself.
I like going all out when I cook sometimes, and I'll like go pretty extreme where I'll get like some steak, some chicken, like shrimp also, and just grill a whole bunch of stuff. I figure if I'm gonna like fire up the grill and do
Oh
a
yeah,
bunch of charcoal. I'm gonna like grill a bunch
yeah.
of
I like
stuff.
to, I
I
like to
don't
do that
always
too.
do
Just
that, but I've been known to do that a lot. Even if it's just gonna be a couple people eating off of it, I'll cook like 4 things and just
yeah,
have a bunch of leftovers.
yeah. There's, I mean, I like cooking a lot too on the grill. I mean, definitely, I like to cook like a lot at one time, so I know I can have enough to last me for a number of days afterwards. But I mean, a couple
I'm
of
gonna be hopefully Tuesday. I think I'm gonna be going over to my buddy's house and making a batch of that deer jerky, and we're gonna still be making more too, but we're gonna do a pretty good batch of it on Tuesday. He's already got the meat sliced. I think he was gonna marinate it tonight or tomorrow and let marinate until Tuesday. And then Tuesday morning we were gonna meet up, I think around 9 or something,
okay.
and load up the. He's got 2 dehydrators and a big smoker, so I don't know how much it'll fill, but we'll be able to get all of it drying. And I'm gonna do a few different ones. I'm not really sure what all I'm gonna do, but I'm definitely gonna do some powder infused ones, some like hot ones.
Oh yeah.
When I do, I'd be happy to share a little with you if you'd like. I kind of was thinking I might share some with like a handful of people, and maybe we could all like get together and try them on a live stream or something.
That wouldn't be bad, you know. Just let them know and tell them, hey, put something together. Maybe we can all do it
For
on
those that
the.
are into jerky.
Yeah, I'm sure there. I'm sure there will be a number of them on the live stream that will be willing to do it. But you might want to talk to Rev about it first, because you know how he is. Sometimes he hates a lot of things. No, no, I'm just kidding.
That's who I was kind of. Well, that's who I was kind of insinuating towards. I don't remember. I feel like I've asked him, and I think that he might like jerky. That might be
Yeah,
something. I know
you'll probably like
candy's
it.
no go for him, but
Yeah,
he might
I think
actually like
Rev
jerky.
will
And
give
I
it a
know
try.
that Rob Z has said that he was interested because I told both of them that I would definitely hook them up with some whenever I got around to doing it. And me and my buddy do it together every year, and we just hadn't had a chance to do it yet. But I was with him today, and we planned it for Tuesday, so it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see everybody do it. I think everybody should be up for it. I mean, it shouldn't. I mean, I don't see any of them not liking it. I was just kind of joking around because I remember on so many streams, Rev's like,
I'm gonna
"Oh, I
make
don't
some
like
different
that."
levels of heat. I'll do some that'll be hot, and then some that'll be crazy.
Okay. Yeah,
The
I
jerky is
think
going to turn out good, especially if I do the smoked ones. He has this one particular marinade that he come up with that is just delicious, and we're going to do that one for on the actual smoker. Which I thought he got an electric one, but he was telling me today that it's actually a propane one, and it's bigger than any of the electric ones that they had for sale. And he got it for cheap, I think like $50 or something. And I say bigger than any of the electric ones that they had for sale at the particular place that he got it from. I know that some of those electric ones can get to be pretty big, but the one that he got is decent size.
yeah. that'd be cool to see. Um, but, uh, but yeah, that'd be cool to see the jerky and how that comes out. That would also be interesting to see if they'll be be all willing to do the stream on it too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to send some out, and let the handful of people try it. I kind of told some people I think I told you, and I've told a handful of other people that I would share some whenever I do
Oh
it.
yeah,
So
no problem.
I
Even
plan
if it
on
doesn't show up on the
maybe
or
not like it just depends on how much I get, but
yeah,
not a whole lot, but I'll definitely be able to like send some like samples out to some people at least.
yeah. And if they
And
don't
then
by chance do it on their stream or something like that, maybe if you want, we could probably do it here on my channel or something like that. You know?
that would be cool too.
Yeah.
I
So
bet Kyle would probably be into it. I hadn't even thought about Kyle. I know that some people are just weird and don't like jerky, but I love jerky. So
yeah, yeah. Jerky can come out pretty decently. I tried this one jerky that this gas station near my work has. They got it from like a farmer or somebody not too far away, and it's not bad, but what the main drawback is it's super salty. So it's like they put too much saltiness in there. It's just like,
the stuff that we make never has too much saltiness to it. Um, that shouldn't be an issue at all.
yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of particular. I don't know. I like it. I like jerky. It's just that the flavor has to come out a certain way. I mean, some of them sometimes they got like they over seasoned it with too many salts, and then some of them they put like a almost tastes very vinegar like or something like that. But it
Hmm.
really depends. I mean, just really depends. I mean, some are just different.
We've
But I don't
got
know.
two basic marinades that both are different, but both are really good, and um, they aren't really too much or too little of anything. The only time that I could ever complain about it is if it doesn't sit and marinate long enough. Sometimes some pieces come out with not as much flavor, but for the most part, it's really good. And I think because he said he was going to start it tonight, but I know how he is, and that means he's probably going to do it tomorrow. But it'll marinate from like tomorrow sometime until Tuesday morning when we get around to making
Yeah,
it.
some
And I was
people
going
when
to
they
go
do
over there and
yeah, I've seen some people when they do it marinated. Sometimes they'll marinate it overnight. Sometimes they'll let it marinate for like a good day and a half or something. But
yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. It'd just be interesting to see how those come out. And either way,
it'll
I
be
mean,
pretty good. And I'm going to do, I've got some sweet, I think I've got maybe, let me look. Yeah, I've got a bottle of it in here. I don't know. The label's kind of messed up on it. It got like some sauce on it or something, oil soaked in. Have you ever seen this one?
okay.
Have you ever seen that before?
I'm not sure if I've actually seen that one in person, but looks interesting.
It's Lingham's hot sauce, extra hot, and it says the world's finest multi-use condiment. And uh, in the ingredients, it doesn't have to be refrigerated, but in the ingredients, it has cane sugar, chili peppers, salt, and vinegar. But the main ingredient is cane sugar.
Yeah.
And it's real thick. I don't know if it'll show on here or not, but it's a really thick sauce, like a syrup. And I was gonna do at least some, do the regular marinade. And we've done this before with other hot sauces, and then brush it on the top once you lay it out on the racks. So I'm gonna probably do that and make it like a sweet and spicy one. And then I'm gonna do some that are like topped with pepper powders and do some different things.
Yeah.
I'll probably experiment with
it,
like
so.
4 different ones and see how
Yeah, I'll like to see what you come up with on that. See how it turns out. Are you using that one kind of thing like I showed you before with the ground meat, or you just could doing it like slices?
Oh, no, it's straight. It's like I said, it's deer jerky. Um, but usually it's. I don't think that he really uses much shoulders. He's the deer hunter. I help him out with it, but he gets the meat and freezes it during the winter, and then once it starts getting around this time, we start pulling chunks out. And what you have to do is take it out of the freezer, trim off most of the fat and silver skins and stuff. But he's got like a one of the deli slicers, and it slices best if it's partially frozen, still stiff, but thawed out some. And so we'll let it thaw out, trim up all the chunks, which it's usually from like the hind leg quarters, and then slice it through in slices into a big pot, and then take it and refrigerate it with marinade, and then take it and lay it out on racks and add additional seasonings or whatever, depending on the type that you're making.
Okay, cool.
But he's got like a legit, like, little workshop operation deal set up. It's not something that we do to ever sell or anything. It's just kind of just to have some jerky around. Plus, all of my friends and all of his friends come bugging this time of year, like, so when you gonna make some jerky? When you gonna make some jerky? Because everybody knows that it gets shared around, and that's just kind of what we've done with it always. I'll usually have some like big bags of it, and I'll just pig out on it, but I'll also like share out so much of it to different friends like everywhere, and then it's gone and it takes a while before it comes back. But this batch will be the first batch, and then we'll definitely do at least another batch or two before the fall, which will be whenever deer season starts again. I think mid to late October, early November, in that ballpark. I can't remember what day it is here, and it changes, I think.
You okay?
Well, yeah, I think I gotta hop off here and go get ready to. I guess I'm gonna throw my laundry in the dryer or whatever.
Too, so guess I'll talk to you later on and everything. So
yep.
And
I had a good time. Glad I got to catch part of it, but sorry I just didn't get to make it.
It's all right, man. That's no problem. And I'm glad you were able to hop on here either way. So I mean, I wasn't sure if Alex was going to be on here, so it was kind of surprising to have him on here to begin with too. So, so I'm glad you were still able to make it, be on here for a while with me. And thanks for showing up.
Yeah, it's cool. Thanks for having me. And next time, let me know.
Oh, no problem, man. I mean, I mean, it's just, it was one of those things. I mean, I just wasn't sure how this was going to play out because, this little the device I was using, so wasn't sure how that well I was going to play, you know?
Yeah.
But,
Well, it seems like the connection's been pretty good on my end tonight, which is a relief. I'm still,
yeah,
I guess, getting the hang of everything, but I didn't even think about restarting my phone and Wi-Fi and all that before I got on, but I haven't had any issues. It's only kind of lagged a couple times.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I wasn't sure if I was actually going to go live with it before because it kind of it started with getting a little bit unresponsive during when me and him started the little Hangouts on Air thing because we were just talking and then it just kept saying unresponsive for a little while and it was wanting to close out for a second and then it gave it a little while and it just popped right back into where it was doing and so and then we kind of went from there. So,
Oh, that's cool.
but excuse
Well,
me,
I guess
yeah,
that's about
so
it.
yeah, I guess so. I guess until next time. So yeah. Oh yeah, we still gotta do that little allotment tag thing. So sometime this week maybe we could do something about that.
Do the what?
I was just that allotment tag video thing.
Yeah.
I still haven't done that. Alex had tagged me a while ago in it, and or in his. So maybe like this week or this coming up sometime we can do something together on that or something.
Yeah, I'd be into doing something like that. We can try to figure that out.
Yeah, yeah. We'll just to figure it out. It could even be this weekend or something like that. Just we can figure out the details in the meantime. You know.
All right. Well, you know
So,
where to find me, and have a good one. It was
oh yeah,
fun.
you
Thanks
too,
for
man.
having me on.
Yeah, thanks for taking part in it. So thank you, and have a
Yep.
good night.
You have a good one too.
All right,
Later.
later. All right, you guys. I'm gonna call it a night, and yeah. So thanks for taking part of the stream, everybody. Thank you, and appreciate all who was took part in the conversation. And remember, everybody, uh, keep it spicy. Sorry about that. And everybody have a good night. Peace out. Later.